Hello everyone, welcome back to another Tomato Sauce stream. Today we're going to be playing some Dimension Linker, which is pretty fun. We were planning to do this last Thursday, but I couldn't because we had builders here, which kind of created a bit of an issue. So we're a little bit late to the party, but this does now mean we have the third copy of Dimension Linker, which is nice. I don't know if it's going to make a huge difference. It definitely will make a difference. I just don't know if it's going to be the biggest deal in the world having 3 copies versus 2 copies realistically, but we will be jumping in with that. We also want to talk about a couple of other little bits and bobs. We do have the Legacy Duels, which is out. Legacy Duels is... it's always a bit of a weird one, because I like old school Yu-Gi-Oh, right? I like the original version of the game. Legacy Duels, though, always feel like there is just something busted in them, right? There's always one deck which completely kills the event. There's like an FTK or some sort of ridiculous like card that was left over that just made it like you have to play this or you're basically just going to lose. And it's a little bit disappointing, but maybe this time they sort it out. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? But beyond that, we do also have the level cap increase for Go Rush, which is pretty cool. I mean, I'm happy we have the level cap increase. The cards we got weren't the highest impact cards. A lot of them kind of feel like nothing cards. Some of them will see some experimentation, and some of them might end up being, you know, pretty good. I'm not going to get super excited for any of them, though, especially at a single copy. Now, we might get more copies of this cards somewhere, but the way that we've been getting the additional copies of cards from level ups is from drops from the gate, but I don't think they're going to retroactively go and put those as drops later on. I think that'd be a bit weird, so I'm not really sure what they're going to do with them. But a lot of these cards are very strange to have as one-offs. So like Methyl and Ethel obviously have a fusion, and, you know, one gets out the other, so you want them ideally at multiple copies, but you've only got one copy. It's a bit weird. So, I don't know, it's very strange, but it is what it is. And then the last bit of, like, big, exciting, well, not really news, but we do have Hikari running her first EDO tournament today, which is going to be, like, Rush OCG, which I personally really looking forward to. So far, it has... I mean, we can actually see how many people have signed up for this. So far, it looks like there are 24 people signed up. Let me just do a quick refresh. Yeah, 24 people signed up, which is really good. For a Rush OCG tournament online, getting above 20 is pretty good, right? If you get to, like, 32, if we somehow get another 8 players... That is so big. That is huge, right? Outside of, like, in-person Japanese events, that just doesn't happen. So, like, that's really cool. So, hoping we get there. But before we jump into all of that, let's see what we have in the chat. So, we have Duke in the chat with the first. Been waiting for you for your live from Discord. Got notifications at first. How was the Mimi event? Yes, pretty uneventful. We have Corey in the chat. Still a week to go till we get our 4-6 new cards. What do you mean? Right, if you think about it, right? If you think about it. In this month, right, we got Upstart Goblin. We got a deck build box, which was another 6 cards. That's 7. We just got 6 new cards from Level Up Reward, right? So that's another, what, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're up to 13. And then we're going to get another 6 cards, right? So that's 19 new cards in this 1 month. That's crazy, right? That's almost like a real product. But yeah, jokes aside, it's not great. Let's be honest, it's not great. But, you know, in terms of raw new cards being added into the game, we're actually not in a bad spot. The issue is how we're getting those cards and how impactful those cards are. Because there are probably like a good 100 cards that they could just chuck in the game that will do literally nothing. So I think it is important to differentiate between just like number of card and how good a card is, right? How much it's actually going to impact the meta. So there is that. There is that to actually consider as well. We have Castelaha. I think I got that name right. Castelaha. We'll go with that one. Hello. Welcome. We just got 6 new cards. Yeah, I already said that. We have Krilla Time. Welcome. Barrel Dragon does well from my experience. I mean, Barrel Dragon's, like, it's cool. The issue Barrel Dragon has, especially... I assume we're talking about Legacy Duels. Because, I mean, Barrel Dragon could go so many different ways. I'm going to assume it's either Legacy Duels or Rush, right? In Rush, it's a bit awkward because getting it out is a bit of a pain. In Legacy Duels, I don't know. I haven't, like, looked into what's good in Legacy Duels this time around. But I assume Bandit Keith is one of the characters you can play? I don't know. We'll have to have a look in a minute. I heard from It's Bradders HD that the new Linker card would crash the game. I don't know if Konami fixed it. Yes. I believe they have fixed that now. It was a big issue for quite a long time, but now they sort it out. And we have Rarity in the chat. We'll give you an exclamation mark, Rarity, and try and spell it right this time. Hello, Rarity. Welcome on in. So, that's kind of everything, right? So I guess we're going to jump in. We're going to head on over, and we're going to start talking about some of these bits and bobs. So, first things first, we have just had a speed tier list update, which is pretty exciting, right? We have our new council, which is pretty cool. I mean, Zyking, we got -1, Giorfio, Paris, Duan. Everyone should know all of these names. All right? Yeah, if you know the competitive scene of Speed, a lot of these names should be very, very familiar. So I'm happy to see a lot of well-known names in the council. It's one of those things where everyone in this council is always a fantastic player, right? You're only allowed in the council if you, like, I think like you have to have COG, you have to like win certain tournaments. I can't remember exactly what the requirement is, but you have to be a good player to get in. But having so many recognizable names just like makes me happier, right? Because I know that I can trust a lot of these people because I know them, right? So that just makes it better for me specifically. Plus, it's a bit more personal that way, right? Hello, Duan as well. Dragons and Witch Sasangan Toolbox deck are probably the best decks for Legacy. I did see Grand playing the Luster Dragon skill yesterday, and that looked interesting. Because there was also the, is it Kaiser Glider deck as well going around, which was like a weird one. But yeah, we'll take a look at that in a minute. But first things first, Branded is now the sole tier 1 deck. I mean, did this actually surprise anyone? Did anyone think Branded was going to be a weak deck? I think everyone kind of had this feeling that it was going to be the best deck. Some people said it was going to be the best deck above absolutely everything else. Other people were like, oh, no. Branded won't be that bad. But it turns out it's pretty good, right? So it seems like we're in a format where you either play Branded or decks that can run power cards or floodgates like Non-Fusion Area and Retaliating Sea. As such, Trap Trick, Shinobird, through its draw power, B-Trooper, Eldritch, and Exorcister can all play against Branded and have solid enough engines. So this is actually... This kind of sums up this meta, right? I think this quote from Zyking. The meta now is, you play Branded, or you play something that can deal with Branded, and if you're not either of those things, go away. That seems to be what the meta has become now, which is quite interesting, right? So we go down to tier 2, B-Trooper and Shinobird. Now, I know a lot of people don't like Shinobird, and a lot of people don't like B-Trooper. But it's, I personally quite like bees. I think the beats are quite fun. But, you know, I might be a bit biased. And then tier 3 Eldritch has just kind of come out of nowhere. So I do want to read what some people are saying about Eldritch. Because I do want to see, like, how that sprung up. Exorcister being here is also a bit weird. Trap Tricks is not too surprising. So let's see some Eldritch stuff. Let's see if anyone's written... Here we go. Surprisingly, Duan in the chat as well. Surprisingly, Eldritch can also go second into Despia, as long as you draw any card that checks Branded in red, such as DD Crow, Ghost Bell, or Foolish Return. Even non-fusion area can work in the situation, since it either forces out Branded in red, or if the opponent chooses not to use it, you can either Kaiju their Mirror Jade, then activate your Sanctuary of the King's Treasure. Okay, so the logic is... I'm trying to work out why Eldritch... Is it just because Eldritch can afford to play all of these, like, non-engine? DD Crow, Ghost Bell, Foolish Return. And then they can also play Kaiju? Because, I mean, other than that, it's just like, yeah, play your, like, one card, right? The deck can also basically FTK B-Trooper if it chooses to with Zombie World package, but it comes at the cost of making the Branded matchup going second worse. Okay. Alright, I even missed this bit up here as well. Found its niche in the current meta as a counter to Branded Despia. If Despia lists don't main deck enough ways to deal with back row, Eldritch's main game plan because they're effective. Going first, the deck can consistently access non-fusion area. Okay, so that's going to be the big part. If you have a spare effect monster on the field, you can turn it into a Gallant Granite plus Silhouette Rabbit to set up Apophis Swamp Deity, which has protection, which helps protect non-fusion area. That's pretty funny. because it can search non-fusion area. It's kind of sad. I mean, it's Eldritch. It's Eldritch, right? It's not anything surprising, right? What does Eldritch do? It searches floodgates. Okay, shocker, right? I don't know. But at the same time, it's like, well, I mean, if you need it to beat the tier 1 mega threat, it's almost... We're in a bit of a weird spot where I feel like Branded is almost tier 0, but like no one wants to call it tier 0. They're like, oh, you know, if it was just a little bit better, I'd be like, yeah, tier 0. But maybe because of the existence of non-fusion area, maybe that's what holds it back from being tier 0. But anyway, off the tier list, Blue Eyes, Chimera, Dinos, Drytron, Dark Magician, and Sword Soul. I mean, for me, you know me, I'm sad to see the Dinos go. But it is what it is. We haven't really been playing much speed recently anyway, so it hasn't really affected us. And we now have a fully built branded deck, so you know we can just play that if we want to play something, which is a little bit sad. Right, so Paris said, with the Dino engine being unable to FDK and its vulnerability to tech cards, its strong turn 1 alone isn't nearly enough to stay on the list. Dino has Misc, which makes their monsters unaffected, so it should be able to go second, right? Right. Well, once you take a closer look at what meta decks actually have at their disposal, you start to realize that Misc usually isn't enough. Branded has Tri-Brigade, Mercuria, and Branded Retribution to negate Misc. Bird can make Abyss Dweller. B-Trooper has B-Trooper, Fly, and Sting to negate, and could also shuffle it away with Sting Lancer. Exo-Sister just says no to your graveyard altogether. Traptrix and Eldritch can also make Dweller, and the latter can even turn all of your monsters into zombies with Zombie World. So yeah, Dino... could definitely go second. So, I mean, Dino is like, it'll still be good, right? If you go first. You can't guarantee you're going to go first is the issue. And I think blind going first isn't really a thing. If you're a deck that can like blind going second, like maybe you can just play. But, I don't know, man. Not great. Not great for the Dinos. And then there's Red Eyes as well. Let's see what they're saying here. So Red Eyes doesn't seem to have found its place in the current meta, as most of the cards in the archetype are either slow or outdated. The most relevant parts of the deck are Lord of the Red and Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, but that simply isn't enough to compete at a high level in this meta, even when combined with a strong engine such as Branded. That said, it's still one of the best options for new players right now, being capable of ladder play and cog worthy with very few budget for new players and accounts. So this is a weird one. Obviously, I'm not a speed main, right? I like speed, I keep up to date with speed, I occasionally play in speed tournaments, but I'm not like all in on speed. What do you guys think about the actual current speed meta? Do we like this meta? Do we not like this meta? Do we want Branded gone? Do we want Branded like hurt in a way that makes it not the only tier 1 deck? If you're not playing Branded, it feels like you're basically playing, I don't know, non-fusion area turbo in a lot of ways, or like you're at least playing a whole bunch of tech specifically to beat Branded, so I assume that might not be that entertaining. Because the other thing is, if you're playing one of these other decks and you've got all these techs to stop Branded, do they work against the other decks as well? Like, non-fusion area is doing nothing against any of these decks, right? We're not fusing, we're not fusing, we're not actually, B-Trooper's fusing. Bird, I don't think fuses. I don't think they fuse at all, do they? No, they're not fusing. Exo-Sister, I don't think fuse. I think they're just Xyz and Link. Oh, they just Xyz. Traptrix, this is Xyz and Link again. Yeah. So, non-fusion area, I guess, is going to hurt bees a little bit. Because obviously we do have the fusion monsters. I don't know. It's a weird one. It's okay, I guess. I play Bird, so I feel fine about this. I mean, yeah, if you're playing a tier 2 deck, you're not getting hurt by the counters to... Well, I guess it's not just non-fusion area, though, right? I don't know how much Bird gets hurt by some of the other techs. Like, you know, Foolish Return, DD Crow, Ghost Spell. They're the ones that keep getting brought up as people putting in as counter to Branded and Red. So it comes down to how much are the other decks affected by Ghost Spell, Crow, and Foolish Return. But it's interesting. It is interesting. So next up is Legacy Duels. So unfortunately, this post doesn't actually give us a ton of info to go on. Because, you know, looking at some of these cards, it's like, well, I don't know, like this isn't going to be absolutely every card in the set. It doesn't have like decks that are currently being played. So I don't know. I don't really know what's good in Legacy right now. There was a list I saw posted on Hikari server that was like a Karate Man OTK deck. And I was like, I don't know if this is actually going to be indicative of how the format is right now. That might just be like a meme deck that wins 1 in every 10 games or something. But like Dwan was saying, dragons does seem to be one of the better dragons, so... Or the better decks, so maybe that's going to be one of the good ones. So that'll bring us over to Go Rush. So, we got the level cap increase. Level cap increase, good. That means more gems, that means more cards. All around, a level cap increase is a good thing. Now, we only got one copy of each of these cards, which is not fantastic, if we're being completely honest. I don't really know what we're supposed to do with a single copy of all of these. We're going to need more copies of these at some point. So Satellite Pegasus is a card that did see play in OCG. It didn't see like a ton. I think this card was played at like 1 or 2 copies. I think very rarely was it played at 3. But again, I'm going off memory, so like that could be wrong. But during the turn that you normal summon this card, send the top card of your deck to the graveyard. Then if you have 1 or less monster in your graveyard, you can destroy 1 face at level 8 or lower monster in the opponent's field. So its stats aren't awful, right? I'd rather it had a little bit more defense, but other than that, this thing's like fine. It mills a card, which again is fine. The issue is if you have 1 or less monsters in your graveyard. So obviously the main place you'd want to play this, like typically, would be Light Galaxy. Light Galaxy is a deck that wants to fill their graveyard. And this wants you to have nothing in your graveyard. So this is either going to be like a turn 2 break your opponent's board if they've got aggressive with level 8 and lower monsters. Which is like not something that happens a lot. We are in an ad break, so we are going to pause. Lovely bit of hydration. Four, 3, 2, 1. Alright, that should be everyone back from ad break, so welcome back from Adges. Yuhi card good, Yuamu okay, rest, I don't know. Right, so there is a weird... We'll talk about the Yuhi card when we get to it and the Yuamu card when we get to the guest, but I have thoughts, feelings, and opinions about them. Let's put it that way. We have Volt in the chat as well. Hello, hello. You needed to run 3 Pegasus IRL because you need to draw into it most used Gate Order and Machine. I don't remember this being used in Gate Order, but I never really played Gate Order. I played against Gate Order quite a lot. I never really played the deck myself, so I don't have, like, vivid memories of this. Also, I didn't start playing, like, super competitively until, I want to say Gate Order was already on the way out. I think it was right towards the tail end of Gate Order is when I started, like, entering tournaments and, like, you know, playing more than just random people on EDO. So, I do remember this card seeing play. I just don't remember it doing much. But it's one of those weird ones where in the current meta, this card isn't, strictly speaking, awful, right? Level 8 and lowers, that will affect Join Tech bosses, which again are sort of on their way out, but you know, that's still a thing. It hits Dimension Linker decks, they're all going to be level 8s. Being able to get rid of a 2500 defense monster that's just right in the way can be really, really useful. Being able to hit a Aqua monster, again, really, really good. The problem this is going to have is, how often is its effect going to be live, right? It almost feels like this is a nice effect to either just get really, really early into the game. It's really good if you're playing a ton of cards that empty your graveyard, but right now that's what? Overrush Storm? Avarice? Like, maybe there's a world you could play this in Dark Galaxy, because that has a bunch of cards that empty the graveyard, but I don't know, it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one to make work well, because of the restrictions on it. Like we say, Light Galaxy is where you want it. Light Galaxy wants to stuff their graveyard full of monsters, which is the opposite of what Pegasus wants you to do. So it's tricky, it's tricky. Satellite seems good in Moonforce in the OCG, because they are focused on no cards in the graveyard. So it has synergy in there. I would, at the most, though, have this as a side deck card. Just because Satellite Pegasus is like, it's not awful. It doesn't like cost you a discard or anything, but it's also only going to be useful against specific board states, and some decks are more likely to have a board state that has level 8 and lowers, and other decks are less likely to do that. So I would maybe have this as a side deck card in that sort of thing. But even then, it's tricky, because I think you want to go all in on the Moonforce strategy, so it's a weird one. But yeah, I could definitely see this seeing play in that deck. I'm just not sure how useful it's going to be. We're in a weird spot where in OCG, you want every card in your deck to have a very specific focus, right? You need a card to draw you cards, you need a card to mill you, you need a card to plus you somehow, like discard and draw to filter, or we just a plus in general is really good, which is why some of the new... Are they monuments? I can't remember what the cards are called. The new ritual deck where you have to like sacrifice 3 spell cards to get it out. Some of the cards in that archetype look really nice because it's like, oh, you play this, which gets you a +1, and then the card you get back also gets you a +1, and you're like, oh, we just +2 off of 1 card. That's fantastic, right? But the way that they balance that out in that deck is then you have to play the ritual, which then sends 3 spells and a specific named monster to the graveyard to do the ritual summon, which is really awkward. So it's like, it's a weird one. But we're in that kind of place now where you really need to be gaining a lot of advantage, or at least have some sort of tangible benefit from each card you're playing. Satellite Pegasus definitely can do that. It's just it won't always do that. That's the only issue I have with it. And again, like we're saying, Duel Links with 1 copy, it's a little bit awkward. I tried cooking with Pegasus in Moonforce, but to no avail. Yeah, it's in the side for me. Yeah, that's how I look at it as well. 1300 mils 1 is like fine. Curse plus Pegasus is strong, but not sure if it's worth the slot. It's fundamentally similar to Essel. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I look at it as well. The issue is, Curse into Pegasus, like, it sounds okay, right? The issue comes in when you just use Curse to flip something up, you could just attack over it anyway, right? If you just summon a big guy, you just slam over it. Because now what we're saying is we need to Curse, then build a board of 3 guys that all have respectable attack. Then if we do use Pegasus to pop, theoretically we get a direct attack, right? That's the trade-off, which if you're playing like, I don't know, Arcor or something. Right, you can't play this in Arcor, I don't think. No, yeah, you definitely cannot play this in Arcor. But if you were, right, if the skill allowed it, you would then maybe be able to make 3 27s, and then you can clear the other 2 monsters, attack for 2700, and that's hunky-dory, right? I guess... Yeah, the issue is a lot of the decks where you can eat... I guess the best place for this might end up being the Power to Weave Hope, like the Dimension Linker deck, because that doesn't have any deck building restrictions for low levels. And you could still build a board. But even in that deck, sometimes you have to be... No, I don't think it matters too much, because I think you can always summon out Polglace in defense and then change it to attack. Unless you hard tribute summon it. Which you shouldn't have to hard tribute summon it most of the time, so I don't think that matters too much. By the way, United, if we get a list for Moonforce when we get all the cards, can you send it my way? I'd appreciate it. Oh, yeah. I mean, Moonforce, I think, is going to be a really fun deck. I don't know how competitively viable it's going to be, but I feel like it should be strong enough to at least be, like, a decent rogue option. I don't know if it'll be tiered. We'll have to wait till we get the cards, I think. Because of Ancient Gear Golem, pop it with this. Easy peasy. I mean... Oh, curse the Ancient Gear Golem. That's, again, if they Ancient Gear Golem turn 1. If it isn't, my favourite tomato. Hello, Victor. Hello. So next up is the Yuhi card. Alright. Joint Tech Digger. This card is really weird. So I have played this card in OCG. I don't think this card is bad in OCG. But I don't think this is going to be good in Duel Links, and I'll talk about why. First off, sending an Earth Attribute Machine from your hand to the graveyard. In a lot of the decks you would play this in, or your entire deck's going to be Earth Machine, so that's not the end of the world. And again, the cost is still bad. We don't want to discard anything. But having to make it an Earth Machine, that's the annoying bit, right? Because now it has to be Earth and it has to be Machine, so it's a bit restrictive. Excavate the top 3 cards of your deck, okay. Add an excavated card to your hand. Now, that card could be anything, right? So that could be a legend spell, a legend trap, a combo piece, whatever. Place the remaining cards on the top of your deck in any order, or send them to the graveyard. So having that control over what you do with the rest of the cards is also quite nice, because if we want them in the graveyard for whatever reason to fuel, let's say, like, I don't know, a Joint Tech Rex effect, you want to have 3 monsters in the graveyard, or if we're going to be activating our Joint Tech skill, if, again, we're playing this in Joint Tech, then we can, for example, see something that we want to add back to our hand with the skill. So we could use Joint Tech Dig Up, dump some, like add 1 card, dump 2 others, activate the skill, grab one of the other 2 cards back to our hand. There's quite a lot you can do with it there. So it does add a nice bit of consistency. The issue is, this is still a -1. And I don't like that it's a -1. I also don't think you're going to be in a situation where you're going to want to play this a lot of the time. I just don't think you're going to have room for it. If you're playing Joint Tech, you're already trying to take out as many spell traps as possible. And I don't think just adding in another spell trap that -1s you is going to help with that strategy. For the most part, Joint Tech spin down their whole hand anyway. They use additional discards for Stegocelos, which is just, again, more resources that we're going to be using. So Dig Up taking away those resources, not great. So, in my opinion, this card was pretty good in OCG because we played 40 card decks. We wanted just anything we could to get any extra consistency that we can. And in OCG, there are more cards that can be more game determinative, right? So, for example, if we use Joint Tech Dig Up and we were to dig for a power spell, like, I mean, Joint Tech Joint is quite a good one, but there are, you know, several different cards that can just get you there, or like a legend spell that's really good, for example. It can be a lot better there. I just don't see this being as good in Duel Links personally, but I don't know. How are you doing, Tomato? I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing? Also, hello, Gunkin Sushi Shari. Welcome. Pegasus would be cool turn 3/4 if your deck can consistently shuffle monsters from your graveyard that early. But that's the issue. How many decks can do that? Like, constant shuffling back into deck is going to be like Mirror Innovator, is going to be like Chemicalized Salamandra, both which are kind of xenophobic. They kind of just want you to have all one type, and the skills that go along with those cards also typically want you to have one type. Like, in the future, we'll have the Sea Serpents that do that quite well. They're very good at just keeping the graveyard empty at all times, but we don't have them yet, right? And then I assume they'll also get a skill that will lock them into just Sea Serpents as well. It's tricky. It's very tricky. It is very, very tricky. I think you could play like a good stuff pile that's playing like the Avarice skill, and then maybe play, you know, some Over a Storm. That would probably work, but other than that, it's tricky. It certainly has a good foundation with the main deck monsters, bar P.O.P. But which one's P.O.P? Is P.O.P the hedgehog? I'm trying to remember them by name now. Get more theme. The deck won't be a problem. With something as simple as a Ritual Spell Recursion or a Spell Shuffler plus Ritual Spell Searcher, the deck shoots up in quality. The question is, though, are we going to get one? That's the tricky bit, right? We don't know exactly what we're going to get and when we're going to get it. Could be Maximum Pierce. Definitely not what he did in the anime. I mean, yeah. Maximum Peace. Oh, good. I didn't miss the small yap section. I was so worried. Hello, Manicus. Welcome. Hello, Ninjago as well. When there will be a different summon technique. So in OCG, the only thing we're missing right now is Ritual. I had to think then. I was like, we have Contact. I don't really count the fusing a maximum into a, you know, with a monster into a fusion, because that's just kind of, it's just a fusion monster. So it's just Ritual. Ritual is the only thing we don't have. Ritual, though, is a very, very powerful mechanic. Realistically, I don't think we could get any Ritual decks, like, just come out right now in Duel Links without them power creeping a lot of other decks. Even Hungry Burger might be too strong. It's a weird... Without testing it, it's hard to know for sure. But just a lot of the modern cards are just such high value cards. A lot of the ones that we have are like, oh, we summon this just gives you a plus. We summon this just gives you another plus. We just get to keep spinning plates, and then we're going to do big plays, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to do that, right? So adding a lot of those cards into the game right now, you would, at the very best case scenario, probably have to give them skills that are similar to the Gradius skill, where you kind of give them a non-skill, and you kind of restrict them. It's a tricky one. I hope those new cards come to the card trader, because all of the cards need multiple copies for them to be good. Potentially. A Spell in Hand is fundamentally a -1 for Joint Tech anyway, so I don't think it's bad for them. But it's not going to move the needle for them by much at one copy anyway. The thing is, though, right? The spells that Joint Tech typically plays is just Curse and, like, Pot of Greed, which I guess you don't play Pot of Greed anymore, so now it's just kind of Curse, right? So for the most part, aren't they if Curse goes the way you want it to, you're going to get a plus offer anyway, or it's going to put you into a much better position, right? Like, if we go and take a look at... let's look at Dwan's list. So, like, the spell traps in here is Hammer Shot, 2 Curse, and Trap Hole. And some people are already saying that Trap Hole's not worth playing. So, like, it's really a bit of a weird one there. So, Hammer Shot is useful unless your opponent has, what, exactly all defense position monsters or a bunch of wimps. And you can even combo it with Curse. And Curse, theoretically, is either going to allow you to get an extra pop with Stegocelos, or it's going to let you just get extra damage in, and it can let you draw 2. So, I don't know, man. I think a lot of these cards, like, Trap Hole is obviously a defensive option, but the rest of these all seem to do quite a lot for the deck, whereas I don't know if Dig Up is going to have the same kind of impact. The one thing I have seen is, yeah, you can use it to dig for, like, one-offs, right? You could use this to dig for a Curse. That could be pretty good. You could use this to dig for a Hammer Shot. That could be pretty good. You could use this to dig for an Ancient Gear Golem or a Cog, right? Again, those can be pretty good. And because we have the skill, we also have the ability to not only grab a card back with this effect, but we can then dump cards into the graveyard and then get it back again. But I just don't know if this is going to find a home in the Join Tech deck as it is currently. It's a weird one. It's definitely a weird one. Because the other thing is, like we're saying, if we're saying spells in our hand playing Join Tech is like a -1, then this is a -1 that could get you into another spell, which could also be a -1, right? It's a weird one. It's a weird one. A Hammer Shot is hard to use before turn 3/4. I mean, yeah. It's a weird... Join Tech is a really weird deck, I think. Because that the deck, surprisingly, OTKs quite a lot, even though it feels like it shouldn't, right? Like, Join Tech has a way to deal with all your opponent's back row. It has a way to pop your opponent's low defense monsters. But I think just Curse on its own makes Join Tech like feel like it's a tier above where it should be. Because Curse now means that one of your opponent's defense position monsters comes face up, which means, again, we can pop it with Stegocelos, or we can just attack over it and get in for like a ridiculously big amount of damage. I don't know. Curse, I think, is doing a lot of heavy lifting for Join Tech. But, yeah, let's get a little bit off topic, I suppose. Hello, Badge. Welcome. Go Rush Maximums feel like a new mechanic. I mean, they sort of are, in that, I guess, when we got Go Rush Maximums, we started breaking the norms. So we started getting, like, 3 pieces that are either level 4 or 3 pieces that are level 10. Like, that started being a thing. We also started getting effects of Maximums that could be used while not in Maximum mode. So there is, like, some evolution going on there. But, I mean, fundamentally, it's kind of the same mechanic. Join Tech are just going to mill it with the skill every time. I mean, yeah, they might do. And again, it's only 1 copy, so it's a bit weird anyway. Hammer Shot is hard to use before turn 3/4. I almost want to play Battle Traps in Join Tech instead of Hammer Shot and Trap Hole. I mean, it depends what you're against, right? Against some matchups, some things are going to be better than others, right? It's a weird situation that the deck finds itself in, especially because we've now got Dimension Linker going around, which is, I think, quite a good counter to Join Tech, but again, I haven't tested it, so I can't really speak to that. Not with any degree of authority, anyway. Autocorrect moment. Hello, a human Portuguese dub fan. Gulling Bursty predicts from spell destruction, dark hole incoming. I don't know what any of that means. Is Gulling Bursty this? This is called Gulling Bursty. You understand why I wouldn't recognize this card immediately, right? I mean, we'll talk about that one now, I suppose. We'll go back to the Yuamu one, because I think this card's actually pretty good. So, Gulling Bursty is a weird one. So, like you've correctly said, it protects it from being destroyed by any spell cards, which means Dark Hole Device right now, but that could also be Dark Hole in the future. Outside of those, I don't think there's much. I mean, you could use Organic Pressure. I don't know how often that's going to come up, realistically, but it's a thing, right? I don't like this card very much, if I'm being honest. I don't see the need for it. if you want a card that it can not be destroyed by effects, you might as well just use Apocalypse, right? I don't know. This is a weird one. This is a weird one. You see the potential? You are the chosen one. Are you planning to test that deck against Join Tech? I mean, we're just going to jump in and see what happens. That equipped spell is whack. Yeah, I don't think most of the equipped spells are very good. So, I don't know, man. It's a weird one. What else would they release it? Void Veil just scared of Hammer Shot or something? Well, you just use it as another card to protect something else when you do a Dark Hole Device play. That's all it is. You just go, alright, I can't summon Apocalypse. I guess I'll go Chrysaor, and then I'll give it this, and then I'll Dark Hole Device. Right? Like, I mean, that could just be a thing. So, I don't know. I don't think this is, like, directly telegraphing Dark Hole is just around the corner. Then we get Ethel. So Ethel is fine. This card is fine. The problem is, it only summons Methyl. That's fine. Methyl is the one that has the attack lock. So theoretically, Ethel is actually better to play alongside the new maximums. Because you could just summon out Ethel, bring back a Methyl, tribute both to summon a maximum, and you're not locked into only attacking with Pyros. So, this at 3 copies, I think would actually be not too awful to play in the new maximum deck. But, we only have 1 copy, so it's tricky. Against Join Tech, see what happened. I mean, I'm just going to play ladder, because we need to play ladder anyway. We need to get our rewards from that. So, I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know if this is worth running at a single copy. Like, it's probably worth running if you're just playing a full Pyro deck. I don't know if this would be worth running in the maximum deck, maybe. But the issue is we kind of don't want to be playing Ethel in that deck anyway, because, again, it has that attack lock, which can be kind of tricky. But again, it's only relevant if we're planning to tribute summon out the individual maximum pieces anyway, so it might not be relevant at all. The other thing is that, you know, most people probably already know this, but this has a fusion, so only having a single copy of it means when we do eventually get that fusion, it's going to be hard to summon, so we're probably going to need more copies of this card from somewhere. We just don't know where. It's a tricky one. It is a tricky situation that we find ourselves in. Give me the assistant girls. The issue is the assistant girls are really good. That's the problem. Like, let's get them up quick. Assistant. How do we spell assistant? Is it 1S somewhere? Okay, there we go. 1S there. So we already have these two. So this is the level 5 one. This is the Ember the Ultra Assistant. If you have 10 more cards in your deck during the turn that you normal summon this card, draw 1 card. Then, if you have Ember the Super Assistant in your graveyard, you can send up 2 cards to the graveyard, then you can add to your hand 1 fight attribute monster from among the cards sent. You can activate the effect of monster's original level as 5 until the end of this turn. So this is, I mean, it's pretty good. We get to draw a card. We get to mill 2, we get to add a card back to our hands. So this is effectively a draw 2, but the trade-off is we have to tribute it out, so we do minus to do that, so we end up as a +1, which is still pretty good. Then there's Icin, the Hyper Assistant. Send this face-up card for your field to the graveyard, add a level 3 or lower Pyro normal monster from your graveyard to your hand. This is almost always going to be Ember, right? Because it's just the normal monster that we're just going to have. Then, if you added Ember the Super Assistant by this effect, you can add a fusion from your graveyard to your hand. So we summon this, we send itself to the graveyard, so, you know, we're trading it, we're getting a -1 there. Then, ideally, we're getting a +2 off of it. So either this is a 1-for-1, which is fine, or this is a 1-for-2, which gets us fusion material and fusion material, which is really, really good. Then there is Sparkle, who used to be Berry. I think I prefer Berry, but Sparkle's a fine name. Which is send this card for your face-up to the graveyard, so again we send itself. Send the top 3 to the graveyard, again that's good, we like milling 3. Then if we have Ember in your graveyard, you can destroy a spell trap on the opponent's field. So this is just good, 1500 defense. You basically make this into a spell trap pop, like so you turn this into like a copy of, I don't know, Dragonic Pressure, what was the card even called? Dragons? I've already forgotten what all of them are called. You know this, the MST. You turn this into an MST that mills 3, which is, that's pretty good. It's not a bad thing. Then there's Icin the Super Assistant. If you have 10 or more cards in your deck, send 1 fight attribute effect monster from your hand to the graveyard, draw 1 card. Then you can place all Ember the Super Assistant from your graveyard on the bottom of your deck in any order, and if you do, draw 2 cards. So this is really good. So, worst case scenario, this is a discard a card, draw a card. So it's like a Crusher Drone. Best case scenario, this is discard a card, draw 3 cards, which is really good. Really, really, really good. And then there's Sparkle, the Super Assistant. During the turn, you normal summon this card. Place 1 fire attribute monster from your graveyard on top of your deck. Then if you have Ember the Super Assistant in your graveyard, you can place 2 fire attribute monsters from your graveyard on top of your deck in any order. This is probably the least exciting of them, but it's still okay. Especially because we have other effects that do check the top of your deck or mill the top of your deck, like the Chemipets, so... okay, the other cards are really good, and they're in. Looks at Shady and Cirque. I mean, the thing that you have to remember is... Because this is like, people use this as like a, gotcha, right? Your point is invalid because this in-game. The thing is, Shady, without Shady, realistically, I don't think Rush Duel Links would be in a very good spot. I think if Shady was still not in the game, and everything else was just left, like, untouched, I legit think a lot of people would have had a mass exodus and just started quitting the game. Because the game was becoming, and it was already getting frustrating at the time, just who can OTK the other one fastest. And then the only way you had to prevent it was, well, do you have a legend, right? So I think Shady is a necessary part of the game, but you just need it, straight up. In terms of circulation, I can't really defend Cirque. I would like Cirque to get hit, but at the same time, not every deck can make use of Cirque. That's like the one saving grace. The issue is, a lot of the best decks right now can make use of Cirque, and that is where it becomes an issue. Now, in the future, assuming Music Princess like falls off, if it gets power crept or it gets nerfed, and same with Hero, Cirque being at 3 probably won't matter as much, and that might be what like Konami's kind of waiting for. They're just like, oh, well, those decks will fall off eventually, and then Cirque won't be a problem. But I don't know, it seems very short-sighted to me. Tomato Man, I need a Rush deck. I haven't played Rush in months. What should I pick up? Hello, Dante. What deck should you pick up if you haven't played in a long time? I mean, the new level 8 deck is probably going to be one of the best decks you could grab. If we jump over here. What is it going to be under? Is it going to be under Gradius? The Gradius version might be a little bit too expensive, but we'll take a look at it either way. So you don't necessarily need... Oh, no, this is just regular Gradius. That's not what we're looking for. Power to Weave Hope. Here we go. So this deck is not too bad. You can get the Dimension Linkers for free. You'd have to go into the deck build to get Polglace. Then it comes down to, like, do you have the Gradius stuff already? If not, you have to go into that deck, the box to get that stuff. But for the most part, this is pretty... I don't think this deck is too bad to build, personally. But there are cards such as Crisis of the Sacred Tower that works as similar. They're not exactly the same, though, right? The thing is, with Crisis, that only works on level 8 and lower. And is it not special summon? Let me have a look. Let me see if I can find it quick. Because I know the card we're talking about. It's been ages since I've seen this card to play. Yeah, so it's only on normal summon. Oh, it's 7 and higher. So it's only on normal summon. That was the issue with this. The big problem with Crisis is it doesn't work against fusions. And that was that was the point I was going to get to. It doesn't work on the fusions. And it doesn't work on them because it's normal summons and it's not that, right? So what this card does do, though, is change a face-up level 8 or lower monster on your opponent's field to face out of defense position, which means if your opponent normal summons a level 7 or higher, you can still change one of their other level 8 special summon monsters to defense after that. But then that comes down to, like, are we doing this in the correct order? We got to make sure we're playing, like, very deliberately. Our opponent basically has to misplay in order to use it in that way. So it's just not as good, unfortunately. It's just not as good. Depends if you want to spend gems. Yeah, that's what it really comes down to. The rest are under aggro. Oh my, any one-box decks? Ooh. I mean, Gradius is probably mostly a one-box deck. The issue is, you're always going to want some of these staples, right? Like Shiny Shady, if you don't have this, you're probably going to want this in some number. Curse has also just been put in a deck build box. You're probably going to want this in some number. But that being said, maybe just regular Gradius is the way to go anyway. If we take a look at this. This is regular Gradius, so this I think most of this is all in one box. Obviously, this is a... all of these URs, these are all... what we call them? Bundles. These are all bundles. Almost everything else in this deck is all in the same box. The main annoying card to get is going to be the Ripple Laser. I mean, if we click in, we can see the Distant Neospace. What else would this box get you? I mean, this box would also get you Aqua. What do we need for Aqua? What are we missing from Aqua? I don't have to build decks from scratch very often, so this is kind of new for me. But let's have a look. Bubble Actress. Alright, so one box, one box, one box, one box, one box, one box. One box, one box. Yeah, Aqua is also pretty good. I think for me, I think it's quite safe to go into this box. Because this should get you most of an Elemental Hero deck, or the Neos Elemental Hero deck. It should get you pretty much an entire Aqua deck, and it should get you pretty much the entire Radius deck, as well as sets you up to, so you only have to go and get Pool Glace if you want to play the Dimension Linker stuff. So I think this is not a bad one, personally. I don't know if anyone in chat has a different opinion on that. What do you think is better for the maximum? One, using the skill and living with the type restriction and not having the Fire Aqua and Fire Thunder targets except itself. Or two, use different skill with no restrictions and being able to play cards like Brick Nian Yan, Sorcerer Duck Bill, and Douglas. I think the skill is way too good not to use. I think trying to play that deck without the skill can work. But I think you're going to be in an uphill struggle of, I've got all the cards that get stuff back from the graveyard and nothing in the graveyard to get back. You're going to find yourself in situations where you just can't really do anything more often. Now, there will be some games where everything just unfolds exactly as you need it to, and it's going to feel fantastic. But realistically, I would always put more faith in a skill that you can activate every single turn that guarantees you consistency. And that, to me, is invaluable. So for me, I think playing it with the skill and the restrictions is going to be better personally. If you do Bright Dragon build, you can go into the structure instead of buying into the Gradius box. There is that as well. But I do think this Gradius box is also just good on its own, right? I mean, this box just has good stuff in it. Like, the Neo stuff ain't bad. Like, it's not great, but it's not bad. The Aqua stuff is, like, top tier. And the rest of the cards you'll need for this are basically all just Mimi drops. Vic Viper, again, is good. You're going to want to get Curse as well. This is just a good staple. Like, the only thing you're really missing from here, I think, is Shady. And then, obviously, the bundles, right? But the bundles are bundles, right? What can you do about bundles? Hi, Tomato. Is there anyone in chat who is a pro speed tourney player? I have a question. Hello, RPG Prince. I mean, one of them might be around, but you never know. One box and Dream tickets. I mean, Dream tickets might get you the rest of the way. The issue is, I don't like using Dream tickets on deck build cards because it's so easy to open a deck build. It doesn't cost many gems to get the URs from them. So it's really awkward. But, you know, at the end of the day, you do you, right? Aqua, maybe we should kill Battle Ballet. I mean, Battle Ballet is really strong. No, thank you. If I recall correctly, they're all in the Aqua box. Streamer approved. I'll dive in. Buy the Abyss bundle, and you can get full Aqua plus Core of Neos and Gradius, 2 Staples Curse, Over a Storm, plus Zombie package for some meme decks. I mean, the Zombie package might be good later on as well. And it's not too bad in the Red Eye stuff. The only problem is, when you buy a bundle, you're forced to get the latest box. So if you get the bundle now, you're getting Red Eyes packs, which is fine if you want to play Red Eyes, or if you're planning to play Red Eyes later, but not great if you just don't want the Red Eyes cards, right? The same is going to happen in a week, though. If you don't want the chicken, and you don't want the Monarchs, it's going to be another awkward situation, right? Although, do they go into deck builds when you buy... I don't know, actually. I need to check this. We're going to go check quick. If I go to buy a bundle, does it go into deck builds? Is that the deck build? I don't even know. It doesn't go into the deck builds. So what does it go into at the moment? Oh, it goes into Neo. That's great. That's fantastic then. That is... We have never been happier to see a new mini box not come out. Because it now means if we go into the bundle, we get arguably one of the best packs in Duel Links, which is so good. That's actually fantastic. This is so hyper-specific as well, but... let's try and catch up. How many decks can come out of the box? Realistically, probably about 3. And 2 of them are going to be really competitive. I guess you could stretch it to 4. Like, if we come back over here again. Well, actually, we'll get this up. There's no reason to get it on there. This box, you can get... Aqua is currently a top-tier deck. Gradius is arguably a top-tier deck, maybe tier 2. If you go for the Gradius, but combine it with the Polglace stuff, again, you'd have to get the Polglace is the issue. Then that could be a tier 1 deck. This is probably like a tier 3 deck. We did just put a video out talking about that one. But Curse is just really good as well. You want to have Curse. I mean, Overrush Storm is okay. I'm not going to sit here and sell this card as being like one of the best cards ever, but it is good to have. SR Dream Ticket gets shady. The Aqua box is still the box of bundles at the moment, right? What question? No, you don't. Hello, Brad. Limit 2, Ballet, Tuba, and Circulation. I mean, you already know what I wanted to hit in that deck. I wanted to hit Turbadish, I wanted to hit Action, I wanted to hit Circulation, and I wanted to hit Battle Ballet. And even though that sounds like a lot, the fundamental change would have been -1 Battle Ballet, -2 Circ, and then like -1 Action, and that would have been it. Like, I think that would have been fine, personally. Well, -2 Action. You've been limited to a single copy of Action. I think that would have been fine, personally. I don't think it was like that much. I saw a Speedroid list posted, but it has 3 Imperm and I only 2. Will it make a big difference? I mean, it's a tech card, right? You don't technically need any tech cards. You just want them, right? You can get by without any techs, and there'll be some games you just lose because you don't have the right techs, but like, fundamentally, what's more important is going to be your engine, right? Bundles will pull from the Neos box right now. Hello, Appletree. Welcome, welcome. Hello, Zaki boys as well. I missed Tomato Chat. Hello. Oh, you missed the hat? You missed the hat? Why'd you miss the hat? I only have 2 Imperm. Sorry for typo. Should I go for 3 or is 2 fine? Are we making a new Rush player? A lot of staples such as Imperm can be replaced with any other cards, like Veiler or such. The thing is, I don't have Veiler. I've got 2 Imperm and no Veiler. That's where like I'm in a weird spot where I'm like, I kind of want Veilers in some regards, but I've got Imperm. So it's like, do I need Veiler? Like, in some situations. What do you think is better for the maximum? We already answered that question. Why have you asked the question again, Corey? We literally spent ages answering the question. What? We're not going to answer it again? Okay, let me just look at my staples. I have little monsters. So, Tomato, why do you have 3 emote that's just your face? Is there anything wrong with that? 3 Book of Moon, 3 Droplet, 2 Imperm, 3 Shock Surprise. What is Shock Supplies? I have no idea what that is. The hat is an important friend in this channel. You want the hat? Bam. And it's gone. It didn't want to stay here. Did the stream black out low? I honestly didn't hear it. No, you just weren't listening. We spent a good amount of time talking about it. You just don't listen. Ah! It helps me go second. Speedroid card. This meta is rough going second. Yo, cameo. Alright. But with that said, we're going to get through these cards, guys. We're going to make it through them without the tangents. All right, good goo, good goo. I actually quite like this card. I don't think this card is anything special. I don't think this card is going to be meta-defining. I don't think this card is going to suddenly start seeing 100% use in Aqua decks or anything like that. I do think, though, this card is actually quite nice. So, 1000 defense is respectable, 100 attack kind of shit. If your opponent has 2 or more monsters on their field, you can send this face-up card from your field to the graveyard. 1 face-up level 7 or higher monster on your opponent's field loses 1000 attack and defense until the end of this turn. So this card is quite nice for a couple of reasons. First off, it reduces attack and defense. And getting rid of attack and defense can be relevant in the current meta, where we do now have a lot of high defense monsters going around. 2, you can just kind of slot this in to Aqua. Now, it's not going to go like super nicely, because it means you'll have like 1 less normal monster to search. But you can just chuck it in there. And occasionally, you'll just play it as a spell card, effectively, that just says, I'm going to reduce your attack and defense by 1000. And sometimes that'll be enough to just kill your opponent, or clear a board that was unbreakable before. So, like, Do I think this card is fantastic? Realistically, no. Do I think this card is actually quite playable? I think, yeah. I think this card could see play. I like it. Banish up to 2 speed roys. Pop up to what you banished. Hello, VN Penguin. Hello, hello. Bad goo. Oh no, United's telling goo off. I'm so excited with the new build box. I'm of two minds. I think that the new maximum is going to be okay against some decks. The issue I have is there are some decks that are going to absolutely poop on that deck. I do not see a world in which the chicken beats Aqua outside of Aqua horrifically bricks, the Max gets unbelievably lucky and the Aqua bricks a little bit, or the Aqua player is just straight up bad or is playing a bad build, right? Like, in my mind, I'm like, that deck's playing 1 or 2 copies of TSA, so bam, we just get rid of it easy peasy. On top of, we're playing... Quite a few of the builds are playing a lot of back row hate, so you just get rid of any trap cards they might have down. And you also have Abyss Soldier, who just says, get out of the way, I'm going to kill you now. And because it's only one monster, as soon as you get rid of their one monster, you just summon a board of guys and kill them. Because that's what Aqua does. That's the Aqua strategy. You just summon a bunch of guys. They have a lot of attack. The game is over, right? It's awkward. So there are just some decks, I think, that are going to absolutely poop on the bird. And that makes me sad, because I like the bird. True Monarchs coming back. I think Monarchs have a better shot of being good, because they're not as all-in on one strategy. That's kind of how I look at it. Monarchs can go wide. Maximums can't go wide. Almost by definition, they go extraordinarily narrow. Which means as soon as it's outed, you just kind of lose. And that's not great. Especially in this like current meta. So I don't know. It's a weird one. It's good gooning. Hello, Skywing. Welcome, welcome. I spent 2 dream tickets on Cat, which, as a 7's Road, is just a deck that prob never dies. Gonna suck missing out on Shady. Well, we'll do an exclamation mark Shui in the chat. Hello, hello, Shui. Yeah, Shady is obviously a really, really good card. I mean, we have just gotten some new tickets, though, right? So can't you use those new tickets on Shady if you wanted to? Unless you just literally spent them on it just now, even though that deck's kind of on its way out already. Monarchs in OCG is tier 1. Very cool. I don't like the OCG Monarch list, if I'm being honest. I don't think it's... it's just not my style of game, I don't think. It plays sort of like a combo deck, but it feels like it should be a control deck. It's a really weird situation that the Monarchs find themselves in. Mostly, it takes advantage of the fact that people aren't playing as much back row at the moment, right? So Monarchs get destroyed by, like, enter the battlefield effects, right? So they go like, I'm going to go for my Monarch play, and then you go Shiny Shady. Or they go, I'm going to go for my Monarch play, and you go New Start. And they go, all right, I'm going to go for my Monarch play, and then you go insert other trap that activates on summon. And then the Monarch player goes, I just want to play the game. Why can't I play the game? Now, the thing is, a lot of the really good decks right now are not playing trap cards because they are heavy combo decks. Right now we have 2 brand new ritual decks that are taking the meta by storm. We've got the Defiant Soul kind of Necromade package, which is, like we say, basically a combo deck. And we have the Spark Hearts Girl deck, which is another big combo deck. And they're very popular and quite strong. Those decks don't have a ton of room to play a lot of trap cards. You can still play trap cards in those decks for sure, but you're not going to like spam traps in the way that like Animagica would, or like Handy Lady would. So, when Monarch started to rise to power before, it got slapped down by a lot of these very good trap decks. But now people have stopped playing the trap decks because they want to play the new cool combo decks, and now Monarch's coming back into favour. At least, that's my interpretation of the meta at the moment. That might be a bit of an oversimplification, but that is the way that I understand it currently. But again, I haven't played against it a ton. Like, in the tournaments that I've been a part of, there hasn't been a ton of Monarch, like, representation, so... let's try catch up. Last question. Should I cut 1 Book of Moon to include the speed row that stops attacking in the graveyard and maybe 1 shot for red eyes? I don't know personally. Hello, Loss. Welcome, welcome. Hello, am I late for the party? You're never late. You're never late, my friend. Does anyone have an Aqua list I can work towards? I would always recommend just go to DLM and then you know, go to top decks, click Bubble Actress, and then these are going to be some good lists. Obviously the tournament winning lists, like if we make this a bit smaller, this will say, you know, how they performed. Taking any like first place or second place list, you can look through multiple if you're worried about it, and then see what they have in common, see what's different, and then work that way. That's what I would do personally. Phoenix is going to have to play 3 Curse, 3 Shady. I mean, maybe. That could be the way to play it for sure. Is the Rush meta good at the Mo? It's somewhat subjective. So we'll go and grab the spreadsheet up real quick, since this is something that's being asked. So this is our current meta. If we come down here, this is going to be a better visual representation. This is a bit awkward because, again, we are going to be having differentiation between Dimension Linker, which is quite new, so it's going to be a little bit of a different spreadsheet for that. But Music Princess is the strongest deck, pretty much. Now, Aqua is also very, very powerful, and if we look at more recent tournament results, it probably overtakes Music Princess. But those are going to be the 2 decks to beat. Now, depending on who you're talking to, people are either like, that means it's a healthy meta, or that means it's a boring, stale meta. Music Princess has been around for a while, but it's not been around for that long. It's just the deck is really good. It's just really strong. It kind of does a little bit of everything. Aqua is not as versatile as Music Princess, but it's still a really strong foundation and is a lot easier to play than Music Princess. Like, Aqua is very, very simple, but very effective, right? It doesn't have, like we say, as much versatility as Princess, but, like, it's good at what it does. Then you get Hero, which is kind of a weird, like, OTK kind of strategy. Then D-Link Radius, which is a... I want to say this deck is kind of challenging to play. Like, this is probably the second most complex deck after Music Princess right now. But again, we haven't tested it yet, so take that with a pinch of salt. If we take a look at the more recent tournament results, it's Aqua, D-Link Radius, Music Princess, E-Hero, Gradius, and then all these other decks as well. So I personally would say the meta is in an okay spot. We are not overwhelmingly having one deck be dominant. We are not in a 2-deck format. We can see there's definitely a lot of decks that can compete. This is far from the worst meta we've ever had in Duel Links for sure. A lot of text is still just text overall. You can just switch them around. Yeah, Baz knows what he's talking about. Besides being OTK'd by Music Princess, I would say yes. I mean, yeah. OCG Monarchs can go to hell. I mean, that's how I feel about it as well. I don't have a viable Rush deck, so investing in Shady now is pointless. Might as well build 7s. A playable ladder deck. Yes. I mean, if you're not planning to go into any box, I don't think there is much you can do without spending gems. If you're just going to use tickets... I mean, if you've already got the spellcasters, I would say, yeah, just stick with that. Because the thing to know is, the spellcasters are only going to get better. Now, they will change, because, you know, there are a lot more spellcaster cards yet to come. But Seven's Road is an archetype that still receives support currently. Like, we just, I want to say like a couple months back, maybe 3 or 4, got new Seven's Road support in OCG. So we got that to look forward to. The cards that you've got now are going to be used later. So they will be good for that. Thanks to check out the Cosmic for Imperm. Hope it works for your time and advice. I think I'll just play what I enjoy. I rarely play top meta unless it's fun. I personally think Aqua is quite a fun deck. It's not very fun to play against. But playing it yourself is quite fun. You get to summon out a big board of guys. You get to do a lot of drawing. You get to do a lot of filtering. You get to gain some life, which feels quite nice. You can break pretty much any board. Like, Aqua is quite a nice deck to play, I think. Monarchs are a smooth brain deck. I mean, fair. Trap cards were relevant, but Monarch ended up playing Ghosts. So playing trap decks into Monarch was also super frustrating for the trap player. I mean, that's fair. All I remember was Animagica kind of like fell off a little bit, like tournament result-wise. And then as soon as Monarchs like started doing well, Animagica started sprinting up. And they were suddenly like a top deck again. And then what was the other deck that saw a lot of play? Was it the Secret Investigators, I think, started seeing play as well. Even though they hadn't been in the meta for a long time. But again, for the most part, I'm invested into Duel Links at the moment, right? So my OCG knowledge is not as high as it otherwise would be. So I would listen to Volt if it's going to be anything about OCG stuff. This new Rush box looks fun. I love machines. I might go into it. Yeah. No Dark Galaxy on the pie chart. I mean, it's just not there. What can we say? Chaos Galaxy's there. It's hanging out. Tomato, my Gradius auto duel. Just send 2 of the fusion to summon 1 fusion. Also miss lethal. Yeah, I tried to build... I was like, Gradius will be an amazing auto duel deck because it doesn't have a skill and you don't need to activate a skill. Auto duel does not know how to play Gradius at all. It is awful. It will just find the worst possible line. If it can, it will find the way where you just summon like 3 1200s and you had the capability to do a contact fusion and it will just choose not to. So I don't know what to tell you about that. I would not use it for auto duels personally. This meta is better than the Matari meta. Oh, easily better than Matari meta. So spellcasters are also a good investment. Good to know. So the difference is spellcasters are weaker right now. They will probably be a good investment in the sense that they will get more support in the future. But we don't know how many of our current cards will see play in the future version of the deck. So I would feel a lot more confident telling you to invest in something that is good right now and is likely to remain good for the next several months. Which I don't think Aqua and I don't think Music Princess are going anywhere outside of getting a nerf, right? We would have to get one of the best boxes of all time to power creep those decks out of the format. I think the worst case scenario is they drop to tier 2, realistically, without getting nerfed. So I think they are safe investments for the immediate future and short-term future as well. Hello, Zorak. Welcome on in. Auto Duel bot plays Duel Links like how people play mobile games in the ads. I mean, kinda. Seven's Road, Light, Galaxy, and Heroes, all good decks to invest because they still, to this day, get support in OCG. But yeah, we don't know if the decks continue playing the same cards later on. Yeah, it's a weird one because we have just got... In fact, let me bring this up. Let me see if I can get this up quick. Let's do this. We go to... So this is... I mean, this isn't like a top-tier version of this deck. But this is... Obviously, you can't see the whole thing in this view. But you can see the picture up here, which you can read. This is my take on... I mean, this deck was basically here just to turbo out Torn of the Magician of Whirlwind, so it's not going to be the best version of this deck. But this is sort of what a modern-day Seven's Road deck looks like. And we're still playing Seven's Road Magician. We're still playing Seven's Road Witch. We are not playing a lot of the other cards. We're now playing things like Dark Sorcerer of Destruction. We're playing things like Dispel Archer, which these are all brand new cards. We're not even playing like Fusion anymore. We're playing Magical Sevens Fusion. This is a polymerization for Sevens monsters, effectively. And we're playing Sevens Wonder Fusion, which lets you Miracle Fusion to get out your Sevens boss monsters, which is also really good. In terms of the extra deck, the only card we're still using from Duel Links is Master of the Sevens Road. But that's because this version of the deck is very, like, Master of the Sevens Road Turbo-esque. So, yo, bro, what's up to my... Hello, Julius Caesar. Welcome on in, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Annie and Reptile numbers didn't really go up that much in the end. Format at top tables was 80% Monarch, up until Cosmos, Necromade, and Gradius came out and diversified it a bit. Ah, I see. I mean, maybe it was just people being hyperbolic then. Like, I can only look at, like, the data that I see, right? I think it was one of those Twitter accounts that posts, like, the tournament results, which you never know how accurate those are, because it's like, this won a tournament, but it's like, yeah, but, like, was this, like, a 5-player tournament sort of thing, right? But I think in those, I saw the numbers spike up on specifically Animagica. Hot takes, I think Konami can bring back the old Gaia skill and the deck will not overperform. Yeah, I think the old Gaia skill is probably fine at this point, realistically. But yeah, that was just an example of how, like, we don't know exactly how the decks are going to perform in the future, right? Alright, that leaves us with our last new card. Blue Fang Reconnect. So shuffle 2 light attribute dragon monsters from your graveyard into the deck. So this has to be light, which is not awful, because most of the dragons you'll play in this deck are going to be light. There will be some dark in there for sure, but, like, this shouldn't be too bad. But then you could special summon a Blue Fang Burst Dragon from your graveyard face up to your field. Now, notably, this can be an attack position. This can attack this turn. This is actually quite nice. The only issue is you're going to have to find yourself in a situation where you're going to want to use this, right? In the sense of Ideally, you want to be drawing into your high-level dragons, because that's how you activate the skill. You also want to be drawing into your dragons, because you can discard them for concurrent. So, you don't necessarily want to just leave one in the graveyard. You just kind of want it to happen to be in the graveyard when you want it to be. The other thing is, to put this in, you're probably going to be removing another good card. So either a trap card, or you'll be getting rid of a back row hate, which has seemed to be quite important for this deck. Or you'll get rid of a curse, or you'll get rid of a normal summon. No matter what, you have to take something out for it, which is a little bit awkward. So I think this card is good. I think this card has the most potential out of all the cards. I just don't know how good this is going to be. And again, it's a single copy, so it might as well be another legend spell, really. Which does make it tricky. Because it's like, you can't really build around or expect to find the unsearchable one-of, you know? It's awkward. It's very awkward. I'm now interested to see what the new hero support will be like. And now the third sub-theme playable on their own in Rush, Elemental Heroes, Neos, and now Rising Hero. Yeah, Rising Hero is pretty cool. Legend 2. I mean, all of these are legends, right? All of these are limit 1, effectively. They're like limit 1s without being limit 1s. So, and none of them are searchable. Like, what's the best you're going to get with, like, searching these cards out? I mean, is there any way to get any of these cards into our hand? I don't think there is. I was going to say you could, like, mill this into the graveyard and then get it back with the skill. But you can't even do that. With the Pyro skill. But you can't even do that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think any of these are, like, going to be massive game changers. Let's put it that way. But again, we'll see. We'll see. I'll be happy to be wrong. If they end up being really, really good, fantastic, right? If they don't, well, we haven't really lost anything. Alright. Now, we'll talk about the new OCG card, Beast Blader. I mean, this art is cool. I like this art. This kind of reminds me of the wolf from the Shrek spin-off movie. What was it? The Puss in Boots movie? It kind of reminds me of that. Who, you know, spoilers, there's a character in that who's a wolf. But, I don't think much of this card, to be honest. Level 4 Earth Beast Warrior effect. Stats are fine. You don't need better stats than this. Send the top 2 cards of it to the graveyard. That's good. Now, ideally, you want to be milling 3 if you're looking for a card which is there specifically as a miller. But this is fine. Milling 2 is fine. This card gains 600 attack. Okay, 16 is, I mean, it's something. It's nothing, like, crazy, right? Then you could choose 1 card in your hand to send to the graveyard. That's where it falls apart for me. I don't think it's worth a discard most of the time. If you sent a card to the graveyard with this effect, you can choose 1 monster on your opponent's field and change its battle position. So this is okay. And in some decks will be really, really useful. The thing is, I don't think I would play this in the main deck in any deck. I think if you're playing a deck that really needs that battle position change, it's probably going to be because you're against something. I don't know, actually. Maybe they're trying to think if there is a deck that you desperately want battle position changes for you. It would have to be a deck that, like, doesn't have good piercing or doesn't have good multi-attack. So a deck that's kind of hamstrung already? I don't know, it's a weird one. There'll be some matchups, though, where I could see this coming in from the side and just being a generic way to change battle positions can be really useful. But I don't know how good it's going to be overall. What is this non-waifu card? Hey, Hans, welcome, welcome. The OCG card reveal of the stream is now relevant, assuming Hikari's tournament goes well. What does that mean? By the way, did y'all know the English dub Udius called Satellite Pegasus Sapphire Pegasus? Crystal Beast in Rush confirmed. I mean, I'm pretty sure its name is gonna be. It'd be really funny though if that's happened. Like if he'll come out and do the voice, like when you summon the card. And then it will just, like, say underneath Satellite Pegasus, but you'll just hear the voice actor say Sapphire. That'd be pretty good. Mills and Nafil target, so he's okay. What's a Nafil target? Am I having a smooth brain moment where I can't remember what Nafil is? I'm going to search it on here. Hope it's just on this database. Nope, I got nothing. You're gonna have to help me out there. Hey, Icy! Welcome, welcome. We'll do an exclamation mark Icy in the chat. And is that Cyclone Valley in the chat as well? We'll go ahead and give a shout out to Cyclone. I don't remember if we have an exclamation mark Cyclone, so I'm going to do this instead. which looks more official. There we go. Nice little shout out for Cyclone. How you doing, Cyclone? Yami Ruler, it's a Assyria card. Not good generically for sure, but Monuments did want more Beast Warrior names other than the current ones. Okay, well, that's good then. It was a mishap of the script. He said it correctly the first time. He said it in the episode. Oh, I see, I see. The Monuments that add a Beast Warrior with 1,000 attack from graveyard to hand. Ah, okay. I mean, again, I can go look it up on here. Let's take a look at all of the Monuments quick. Well, that's not helpful. Pre-release. Nafil, this one. So during the main phase that you normal or special summon this card, add an Earth Attribute Beast Warrior type monster with 1,000 attack from your graveyard to your hand. This turn you can only attack with Earth Attribute Beast Warrior type monsters. And we are in an ad break, you know what that means. So it is Earth Attribute Beast Warriors. Let's have a look. Monster, Earth Attribute Beast Warriors. Welcome back from the ads. I mean, did we need more names? I mean, I guess it's a Miller. We already have Gundy. I mean, yeah, realistically, we're going to be playing Gundy Yoshiro. Maybe having an extra name is actually really good then. Is the battle position change going to matter as well? It might do. For this deck specifically. But we do have the piercing, right? Monuments. We have this guy, right? Is it this guy? This card and spell trap cards on your field cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effects. Face up Earth Attribute Beast monsters. I'll gain 500 attack. So you don't give piercing. But who's the piercer? There was a piercer, right? Not you. Is it you? This one. This one pierces. During your turn, other face-up Earth Attribute Beast Warrior type monsters in your field gain 3,000 attack and inflict piercing damage. But I suppose you probably want a way to win the game without summoning this. So having the option to change battle position is probably going to help. Big chance, brother. We had Fennec, but Blader is better for the deck because of the milling. Hello, Toti. Tomato, did you discuss the new level rewards yet? Yeah, we've just finished that. It took us a while to get through it because we kept having tangents, but we just got through that. Only Ritual gives piercing, yeah. I mean, it's a good card. It's just getting it out is a massive, massive ball ache. Alright. Well, with that done, and now we've covered this, I suppose we'll talk about this. I'll go ahead and chuck this in the chat. But Hikari is doing her first EDO tournament. And if we can, I would love it if we could get this up to 38 people. If we can get this up to 38 players, that would make me so, so happy. Because the thing is, tournament organizers are going to want to have as many people show up as possible, right? Oh, we've already got to 25. Nice. What that means is, the more people that show up, and the more that the tournament organizers are shown that there is interest, the more likely they are to do more in the future. So especially for the first one, you really, really want to have good numbers. So I would love it if we could get this up to at least 32 people. I think that would be such a great number of players. We'd be able to have a bunch of people playing this, and it would just be a lot of fun as well. So this is going to be on today. So for me, this is going to be at 7 PM. That is in about 4.5 hours. So the other thing to note is this is an EDO tournament. So this is not Duel Links. This is EDO. This is OCG Rush. But it's really fun. And even if you've never played in one of these tournaments before, it's really easy to just sign up and play. It'll be a great experience to just play some OCG. You got to start somewhere, right? Why not jump into a tournament? It's just for a bit of fun as well. So it'll be great. It would be great if we could. 38, we still need 13. Honestly, 25 is much higher than I thought for a start. Really, really happy with that. Yeah, I mean, I was a bit worried it was going to be an 8-player tournament, which, again, was fine. You can have an 8-player tournament. There's nothing wrong with an 8-player tournament, right? That's fine. But it doesn't send the message that there's a big audience for this, right? If each of the participants just brings one friend. Exactly. We're pyramid scheming it. Any tips for building OCG decks? I personally think the best thing to do is just to net deck something that works for your, especially if it's your first time. And then ideally, if you have some sort of like write-up that can help you with that. So there is a Discord server called Rush Ragnarok, which is really good for this because they have an entire section on their Discord called sample lists. And effectively, if I go and grab one quick, what they do is they do a nice write-up. So they give you the list. They show you all the cards in it. Obviously, you know, you'd have to just work out what they're called. But then they also do this, which is a very fast light machine good stuff deck that can cheat out multiple bodies with ease while also having access to recyclable removal. While the older cards still help with the deck, Vulturecorn, Locking Backrow, and Ace Breaker and Tough Striker justifying the use of all the other cards, the latter also being summonable by secret order. So basically, they give you a write-up. They tell you a couple of different ways how to play the deck. Sometimes they help you out with a little combo line. It's nice to just have a little bit of extra guidance rather than just taking a list, copying it, and being like, okay, let's just see where this goes, right? So I think this is a great resource, personally. I think this is especially good for newer players. But for the most part, generally, you're going to want somewhere between like 13 and 20 spell traps, depending on the type of deck you're playing. Some decks are going to rather have that kind of 15 spell trap. Some are going to be leaning more towards the 13. Some are going to be like this one and lean more towards that 20, right? So the urge to play Wind Psychics, but I want to win some duels. I think you could win. The thing to remember is there's going to be a lot of new faces at this event. We've already seen there's quite a few people here that we haven't seen at other tournaments. So we don't know what their kind of average skill level is going to be at. So there might be some games where you'll just be, you know, cruising. And there might be some other games where you get like some actual really good back and forth, right? WTF as a friend, speaking Latin there. Net deck 3 to 4 versions of one deck. Read the cards, build your own version using 3 to 4 decks for reference. I mean, yeah. Can you share a link? I imagine I can link to Rush Ragnarok. Have a look. So if I do this and I do this, theoretically that should get you to Rush Ragnarok. If that's worked correctly. We're just going to hope it did. The urge to play Trap Pigeons today. I mean, you could. I wouldn't expect to do well, but if you do, it'd be really cool. But yeah, personally, I really like this. And again, if you're looking for like winning decks that have actually won stuff, you could look in either the meta discussion channel, where people post just winning lists, or you can go to the, I think there's a channel in here, which is like event deck showcase and event results. Also show like some lists that will tell you how well they performed, like which ones won the tournament, which ones went, you know, like 2 and 3 and scrubbed out effectively. And it gives you just a lot of resources to work with. That's what I think is one of the better resources going around right now. We used to have Vault's spreadsheet, which used to, in my opinion, be the best resource because it gave you a lot of consolidated data about a lot of different tournaments going on. But unfortunately, that isn't being run anymore, which is a shame, but it is what it is. Other than that, to find actual tournament-relevant decks, you kind of have to use Twitter and kind of hop around different accounts that are posting winning deck lists. That got me to the image of the server. Well, that's not helpful, is it? Well, maybe I'm not allowed to invite people to the server then. Generate a link. Oh, we go. If I do this. Right, maybe that will get you there. You bring that, then the next time we lose half the players. Basically the same thing. Check Tomato's server OCG channel. I mean... Oh, have you posted it in there? In which case, yeah, that'll get us there anyway. Alright. But yeah, if we can get a bunch of people signed up for that, yeah, that's going to be great. I would love to if we can get just a whole bunch of people. Come on, guys. It hasn't gone up at all yet. Come on, I need more people to sign up, guys. Come on. Alright, but with that all done, I think it's time we actually played the game, guys. I think it might be time for us to play with this new deck. I say new, it's already been out for like a week, but we're going to be hopping in with our first games of Dimension Linker. Let's see how it goes. We're probably going to get schooled because we haven't practiced this at all, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. It might go fine. Oh. Monoko's come to hang out. He's gonna bless us. Oh my god, is that Duel Links? I know, it's crazy. Oh. Oh man, I don't want to play against this deck for my first game. Bruh. I don't really know the best way to play our deck into his. The issue is our deck vomits out a bunch of high-level attack points onto the board, and his deck capitalizes on us having a bunch of high-level attack points on the board. Here's on Earth Dragon's Trust. I don't think we're going to be that fortunate, you know. I know there's going to be a correct way to play this matchup. I don't know what it is. This is my first game with this deck. Okay, we have a million billion set cards. We drew Freed. I mean, do we just go aggressive? Probably. Oh, we can't even use the skill. Oh, we have to have a monster on the field, right? That's how this works. Okay, so I guess the play will be normal summon Freed. Normal summon Vic Viper. No delay. So we'll go ahead and use the power to Weave Hope. We'll pop this back. We'll summon this out. Oh, I probably should use this first, to be honest. I wasn't even thinking about Power Capsule Red. But I suppose we've now increased the odds. Come to me. I mean, there's a chance that thing has 0 defense. Right, we'll summon, set, activate the effect. I guess we'll give you the piercing. 0 defense. What can we say, guys? You know, I think I might be a bit of a natural at this one. You know. Is that even worth saving as a replay? I think that is worth saving as a replay for the meme, but that's not a good win. That's like one of the funny replays that you have in there as a bonus. That's not a real win. Okay, we don't count that one. He's on Hammer Shot Deal. Could you imagine Linker who is the Imimi boost? I mean, sure, we'll take it, but. We go again. Let's see if we can get a real game. I'm not sure yet the best way to play this. Like, are we supposed to just vomit the whole hand onto the board without worrying about it? Seeing how much damage we can get in? Or, like, are we supposed to play defensively on some terms? I think it's going to take a while for me to get used to the feel of the deck. For now, we're probably just going to keep playing very aggressively and then wait until it punishes us, and then we'll try and learn from being punished. I think that's the way we're going to go. Because we are very much a learn by doer. I mean, this hand looks familiar. Can we summon the normal monster? If it's turn 2 onwards... So we can only summon normal monsters from our hand on turn 1. So we're probably going to use Power Capsule Red. In an attempt to not just die from not having anything. 1. Oh, come on, give me 2. Give me a +2. Oh, we got a +2. Look at that. That's what we want to see. Well, it's a +1. It's a +1, guys, because we lose the Power Capsule Red, but you get the point. I don't think this matters too much. Realistically, I don't think we're going to be doing a Contact Fusion. Right? Because he's just going to clear it anyway. So I think maximizing the number of monsters on the board is probably the way to go. This might be the wrong play, but we'll see what happens. Very nice. When did Tomato become the Macho Man? It's always been there deep down inside. We just suppress it. Watch out for the Ghost Cyclone. Oh, dear God. Well, what we haven't played around is Curse. So we'll see if he's playing Curse. Most Sevens lists don't play Curse, but... This deck's easy, guys. I don't know what people were talking about. There's a rank up. That's the most casual rank 5 of all time. I'm telling you, Mimi is aura farming. Well, we've taken down Steve. So, sit, Steve. What did he have? What could he have had in that hand as well? We had such a good setup there, right? We had 2 live trap cards. We had a boss monster for the next turn if we didn't have to discard it, which meant we had the skill activation ready to go. Casual 5 win streak for Kogge coming. Probably not going to be that lucky, but... Okay, we can summon this on turn 1, but we're going second anyway. We have opened Freed every game. The thing is, Freed is not the best turn 1 play. Right? Like, he's a much better when you have a graveyard established, but his stats are still fine, right? I'm not going to say no to him. Alright, let's see what our Light Galaxy opponent has for us. Whoa, is that Galactiara Eve? And he sent Boat. Okay. We're okay with him sending Boat. We're going to summon Lyca in attack. Summon Linak. Are we going to tribute both for Boat? Tribute both for Boat seems like the most likely. Yeah, so here's Boat. So now he's going to mill... He did get a monster, which is not too shocking, right? He didn't sack us to get a monster there. It was likely he was going to get a monster. If he was to sack us, he would have milled a fusion spell there, but he didn't, so we're fine. Tributes to sets. So that's going to be most likely a 2500 defender. Multiple. Ah. Very interesting. There's no, like, good way to get multiple into the bin right now. We can easily summon this and that. We'd have to get rid of you, which is fine. Is there an order I should do this in? I don't think there is. So we just use this. So, oh, but then we can't attack with Dimension Linker. I mean, there's still probably not a better play. We just leave Dimension Linker and attack. We have no way to fill the graveyard unless we mill 2 monsters with both of those. I think we probably just go for it anyway. You can flip with multiple, even if British isn't Gradius. Yeah, but if we want to do the... If we want to do the contact fusion play, this still has to become Gradius, right? So we're going to have to use the effect to lock us anyway. Unless I'm a silly goose, which I could be. Either way, I think we summon this. I think we summon this. Then we activate this effect. Which will change this to attack. If you want to contact, then yeah. I wouldn't do that, though. What play would you do then? Just tribute both, summon this, and then that turns Freed on? Or would you activate the skill, get rid of this? And then what? I think the tribute play is like the best option here. Oh, I can reduce the attack. So I get rid of this, summon this, get this out, reduce this attack, use his effect. No, I can't use his effect. I have to reduce your attack over that, and then that attacks over that. Okay, okay, I think I see the line. Okay, I forgot about the attack reduction. So I reveal this. We reduce the attack of the 25. Yes. We'll play this in attack position. Wait, why is that still on the board? Oh, because it's not an effect monster. Oh. We've messed up. We've messed up. We couldn't get rid of this because we didn't summon an effect monster. Which means at this point, I might as well just use the effect. Yeah, I think at this point, we're just doing this. What is your effect exactly? With higher attack than this card. So if I just do you, and then don't do the you, I could summon this, activate the effect, put these back, get rid of this now. This is like the we've already messed up, so we're doing the best we can after the mess up. Okay, if you have to return a monster to summon a level 8 from hand, if you did the second part of the skill, it worked. You could have used the shuffle back mode for Linker, but you need to say no to the first prompt. Oh, okay. Well, that's something I wouldn't know until I played the deck, right? Realistically. Now, this is the first time I've ever used this skill. Okay. The issue now is we don't have a lot of room to do any kind of play we want to do. We could just attack all three, but that doesn't seem super great for us. I could tribute over, bounce something. That also doesn't really seem super worth it. I mean, do we just attack, pass? That also just doesn't seem very good. We have the multiple, but we'd have to make two lots of room. Which I don't think we could do with this hand. So I think we just go battle. And we just swing over. The issue is, the longer this goes on, the better it is for him. Because he's just going to wait until he finds his big combo. With this setup, I don't think there is a good way for us to actually apply any kind of pressure outside of like making a lot of room. If I get another level 8, I could go for like a tribute play and then use the skill, get rid of a body on the board. Then I could get these two out, use their effects to change something into attack position. Then if I wanted to, I could even use Compulse, like aggressively. Okay, Trilio comes down. I think we might just die here. I think he's got too many cards, and his graveyard's already too full. I think he tributes both of these for Boat. Or not. I think we just wait. I think we just sit until he either summons out Plasma, or he summons out Eternal. I don't think we do anything on Eve. Hitting Eve is good for value, but until we're forced to stop it, I think we just wait. Because he'll use more resources overall. Okay, so now this is where we're going to use our trap. Now the question becomes, can he make another one? Because if he doesn't make exactly another Eternal, I don't really care. We know he's got another fusion in hand. Yeah, he's going to make another Eternal. And then we're just dead. We'll let him finish us off. So, I don't know if we could have won. But we could have done a shit ton of damage on that last turn, for sure. Because the play would have been, get rid of that, summon that. I mean, we would have lost. We should have lost that, right? He didn't have an extra monster. But we would have lost if he didn't brick. So we would have lost that duel. The issue is that a good enough replay? We'll save that replay for now. Because I was going to let him go through his whole combo and kill us, and then save that. But we might not use that in the video. I'm not sure yet. Okay, so we need to remember that if we want to get a monster off of our board, we have to click no to the first summon. Oh, that's going to be tricky. Alright. It's going to take us a few games to get used to it, I think. Alright. Let's see what we get. Let's see what we get. We have Destiny from Italy. Mimi. Okay. So this is probably Aqua. Oh no, it is an archive skill. So this could be a mirror. This could be hero. You need a reminder to not cog for the new decks. Ooh, that's a good question. They come out on the 29th. I don't think it will matter. I think we could probably cog and I wouldn't care too much because it's so close to the next reset anyway. Do I just set 4 and pass with this hand? Because in order to get Linker out, I'd have to lose a card from my hand anyway. Only 2,000 defense is not like a great number, for being completely honest. And I don't think I need to use that right now. And having multiple in the bin is also fine. I think I kind of like this. We'll see if we get punished for it. That's what I do. The issue again is if he has a curse, we're going to get Giga punished for setting 4 instead of 3. But I also want to be greedy. I want to get the extra value from having an extra draw next turn. It's a tricky conundrum. I hate Curse. And the reason I hate Curse is just because I don't like feeling like the sensible decision is to not play cards. I hate it. Because it's like, if your opponent has Curse and you play around it, great, fantastic. You've played around it, you maybe survived the turn, you didn't give your opponent a ton of value. But if your opponent doesn't have Curse and you've played around it, you've just -2'd for no reason. Which is awful. Oh, Swift Gaia has hit the board. That's something you don't see every day. And his friends, Change Slime and Change Slime. Unfortunately, he is going to get a ton of value off of all of this. He's going to get a draw here. Well, there's Great Maju Gazette. We're about to take a lot of damage. Oh, we're about to take a lot less damage. So we're just going to take 21 now. Ow! Well, I mean, all of my lobies have 800 defense. There's nothing particularly shocking about that. What is this? Sure. Why can we use the skill? Is it just the attack reduction part? Oh, because we can summon the 8s for nothing. Right. So I could just summon this for free, if I needed to. Well, for now, we'll go Power Capsule. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that is a card at least, so we'll grab that. We're probably just going to Power Capsule again. I just want to see what options we have. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that is going to give us a lot more options. Okay, so we can cheat one of these bad boys out. But we have to give up one of our guys. We have multiple in the bin as well. So I could go for 2 Contact Fusions and then also get out a Polglace. No, I can't get the... Can we summon out the Dimension Linker and then put Dimension Linker back to summon out Polglaze? Does that work? You're like 700 off? Yeah, but I need to just try and make like the best board that I can make regardless, right? You can, yeah? Okay. I think that's going to be what we try then. So we'll go for the British. Activate Lord British. We'll bring back multiple. We'll activate multiple. We don't need to change the back position of a monster. We'll go into this by using 1, 2. Bring out the big boy. Then I will activate its effect immediately. Reduce the attack of both. Yeah, there's no better way to do this, I don't think. So I think we just do it like this. We'll summon. Our graveyard's already pretty stacked, so I don't think we need to worry about that too much. So we'll do this. Summon this out. Activate its effects. Reduce the attack of both. Then we can activate the skill. So I can reveal this. Reduce the attack of this. Yes. Summon this. Then put this back to summon this. And since it can't attack, we'll put it in attack position. So we can change it to defense. Then we'll go to battle. And we will just attack over both. Okay. I mean, that doesn't seem too bad. That doesn't seem too bad. Does Blue Eyes Bright Dragon still crash the game? I don't believe it does. I think they fixed that. Right, TSA. Nothing we can really do about that. It is wild to me that they can fix a bug in PvP, but not in PvE. That is actually wild to me. We're playing that as our limit 1. We're also playing Widespread Ruin. Okay. Secret Order brings this out. Right now, this hand is dead, by the way. Like, we can't actually play the game with what we currently have. Okay. Are we going to go for the draw? I assume we're going to go for the draw. I mean, it's nice to see Gaia. There is a world in which we do just die here, but I don't think it's a particularly likely world. Yugo Shokan! Gaia! Dragon Champion! Why would you summon this one? Why would you ever summon this one here? I guess... I don't think there was any reason to do that. Which went from this being like maybe an okay replay to just like, what are we doing? So, I mean, again, I don't feel great about this replay, but we'll save it for now. We might have to delete that one. How often are we ever going to find another Gaia opponent, though? That's the thing. It's just not going to happen very often. So I do quite like it. It's like, oh, yeah, Gaia replay, that's cool. But his last turn made it very anticlimactic, let's put it that way. Alright, let's go again. Let's go again. I am learning a lot, though. Like, we've already learned that we can summon a monster, like a vanilla, and then send it off with it. That's already pretty good. And we've learned that we can say no if we want to specifically get a monster off the board. That's going to be some of, like, the bit higher level stuff, I think. Which, again, you'll learn that after playing a few games, but... that is our big takeaways. We're going second, and we have Curse, so... maybe we can use it. Maybe we get some draws. Set 1. Set 2. Set 3. Could you set 1 back row? You jerk. Okay. So we're probably just going to do Polglace on itself, Pierce, and that's it. The question becomes, do we set... he's only got 4 cards in extra. What is he playing? He's playing something weird. We have to shuffle something back. So what I might do is set this, set this, summon the Gradius, Activate the skill. Reveal Polglace. We'll do this. Return a card to the deck. We'll put this back. We'll summon this in defense. Activate the effect. Target itself. We're going to set. Go to battle. So the only other thing I could have done would be to basically make a contact fusion and then just had a 2500 guy on the board. But I would have not had Gradius's option in the graveyard, and I like having this in the graveyard. Now, maybe I should have put Super Dimensional Lord British Space Fighter back in. I put the normal back in because it means if I draw Power Capsule Red, I can use it in that way, which can be really good, but... Okay, so we missed out on a possible 500 damage. Other than that, we're pretty golden. Reveals the Showdown Skull Archfiend. Adds the new art Red Eyes Black Dragon. Looking kind of sexy. Looking kind of nice. I'm going to summon out the Legendary Magician, which we're going to be able to use to put that Red Eyes back in the hand. Okay, gets the nice +1. Activate Change Slime effect. So go ahead and use both of the cards from hand to call forth the mighty Black Skull Dragon. Dragon's Inferno, I mean, that's fine. That doesn't really change anything here. I mean, I feel like we're still in a pretty good spot here. Even with that, we're still in a pretty good spot here. Because, like, he's got 3 attack position monsters. So if we can just get a contact fusion out, we could be in a situation where we could just win. Like, double contact fusion, -16 on 2 of these guys, 2 2600 bodies. Now, are we going to be able to actually do that? Okay, we can do 1. We can clear 2 monsters here for sure. I mean, we don't really have a choice, so it's kind of that or nothing. So I guess we're doing this. Activate Gradius option. Put a multiple in the bin. Go into Ripple Laser. Activate Ripple Laser. I guess it's only going to be like 800 damage, so I think we're going to go for the 2 that are problematic. Set 1, set 2, go to battle, swing over this one, swing over this one. Alright, not the tastiest, but we did deal with everything that needed to be dealt with. So let's see what he does. Let's see what he's got. I am interested to see what play he makes here. We got Revealing the Red Eyes Moon. So he's going to add 2, discard 1. Adds back the Skull Archfiend from the bin. Adds the Change Slime from the bin. Sends away the Legendary Magician. So now we can just summon out the Change Slime if we want to. He now knows about our trap card. There's not really a way to hide it, really. I guess he knows it could be Trap Hole. Sends both of those. Summons out Black Skull. I don't think there's a better target to use this on than this Black Skull Dragon. He's got 3 cards left in hand. Activates TSA. I mean, that's fine. We don't care about that. That will let him just clear over our Ripple. Which is, I mean, it's not the best thing in the world, but it's fine. Our graveyard is still, like, well set up. If we do just find a Lord British or... What's the other one called? I always forget what he's called. This one. Beginning. Or if we find Beginning. 2 back row. That's the scary part. But we do have an Overrush Storm already, so we can hit one of them. And there's another one. So... we'll go for an Overrush. We're going to put you back, and we're going to put you back. We'll get rid of that. Oh, so this is a Compulse. Well, it's a good thing we brought a backup. Do these two. And get rid of that. We'll go Power Capsule Red. Didn't get the +2, that's fine. So here, I don't think it matters. Has to be monsters specifically. I mean, we just, like, win no matter what we do here, right? We just activate the skill, summon that, get rid of that, and then that's just lethal on board. We don't have to do anything. I was just, like, looking at the different lines I could take. He dead. Indeed, he dead. Rest in pepperonis, my Red Eyes friend. Alright. We'll go again. I mean, I think we're getting there. We're slowly getting there. We're understanding how the deck works. I haven't really got to experience the upside of playing specifically the level 8 package yet, I don't think. Like, the 900 attack reduction was good. Obviously, getting the 1000 in piercing. Maybe it's the piercing is, like, the really nice thing. But, like, I feel like this deck should be able to also just make big boards of just, like, lots of attack that can be really difficult for your opponent to deal with. Like, we've already seen 2 different opponents use Talismanic Seal Array on us. But because they've had to use it on our level 4 monsters, they've been like, oh, uh-oh. Masaki. Our opponent doesn't have a skill, guys. I think we might be alright here. I have a feeling. I have a small hunch that we're going to win this school. It'd be really embarrassing if we lost after saying that, though, so... Whoa, another 1500 vanilla? That's crazy. Absolutely ludicrous. Dorotheo? I was not ready for Dorotheo. I'm not gonna lie. Dorotheo was not on my bucket list today. I could change it to defense, but there's no real reason to. I mean, we just have like a million ways to do this, right? I guess the best way is to summon this first. So I can summon this. Activate the effect. Then we can go Gradius. Then I'm going to put them both back into the deck. We'll go 1, we'll go 2. We'll summon this out. Then I'm going to activate Power Capsule Red now that we've increased the number of Gradius Vanillas in our deck. We did not get a +2, but we will go ahead and add this. We could summon... Get rid of that, because I don't need to send a card to summon that. So I think we can just do this. So we summon Vic Viper, activate the effect. Yes. Send this. Bring back option. Activate option just to get an extra mill. Then I can go into this. Then I can do this. Reveal this. Reduce this. Play a monster without shuffling. Summon this. And then I'm just, at this point I'm just pressing buttons. He's already like giga dead, right? But I mean, that was a nice little combo, but it's kind of meaningless when your opponent isn't really playing the game. And yeah, that's just... I don't think that's remotely good enough to make it into the video, so... No skill, no extra deck, no mat, no sleeves, normal summon monster. No shirt, no shoes, no service. Can you... Pfft. Ridiculous. Actually ridiculous. What are we supposed to do with that? Alright, we go again. We simply go again. Alright. Who's up next? What you got for us? Imi and Mimi. Is it going to be an actual Aqua deck? No, it is another Archive skill. We're on our COG rank up game. I guess we'll see where it goes. This could actually be like a real hero deck. I'm excited. I am excited. Secret Order turn 1. Into Neos attack position. And some back row. Okay. I respect it. I respect it. Let's go Power Capsule Red. Let's see what we find. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have all of the side pieces in the world. And nothing else. Please, Power Capsule Red. I could do with double Gradius here. Okay, there's double Gradius. Kind of. I mean, it is. Okay. Now what do we do with this? So we have to... I guess we want to try and get as many mills as possible. So we'll start out with multiple. There is a delay. Activate the effect. Then we'll go... Vic Viper beginning. Activate the effect. I'll send this to the graveyard. I'll bring this back. We'll activate multiple. We'll go into Ripple. Right. Is he going to do anything here? Still nothing. So now we have a choice. We could shotgun and over a storm, hope we win the 50-50 and go for a big push, or we just attack with this. I mean, both plays have ups and downs. One is just like, it's so Gamba is the issue. I don't know how much I just want to, like, gamble on that. $50-50, that shit, you have lethal? I mean, you're not wrong. Alright, Manicist, I'll let you pick. Left or right? Left or right, Manicist? We'll go for it just for you, even though we get punished so hard if we miss. Left, alright. Going for the left one. What do you take out for the third linker? I took out a... Right, we summon. No delay. Summon. Looks like we won the lottery. I'm trying to remember what we took out now. We took out something. I want to say I took out like a third curse? No, I took out one of my shiny shadies. That's what I took out. I don't know if that's like the correct option. That's what we're going for at the moment. Well, I think 2 shady a lot of the time is fine. Alright, option. So we know that whatever his back row that we put back was a usable card. So now it comes down to, does he have a battle trap as well? He did have a battle trap as well. So he had negate attack and shady as his 2 trap cards. I mean, it's a shame, but what? Yeah, he opened negate attack shady. What? We can't play around all of it. The downside is he could very easily rip our entire board apart. He's not going to get in for a ton of damage, though. I think no matter how he does this, no, he could actually. He could. There is a slim chance that he could kill us. But it's very, very slim. He'd need, like, a Secret Order. He would need to make, like, probably double pulse. But it's doable. 2 good cards removed and a good field. This is still fine. Yes, but we're going to have our entire board removed here, I would expect. On top of have to rely on the draws from the top. And he's also going to have a respectable board. We're already 2 ripples down, so we can't do like another double ripple play. It is a little bit tricky. So you're just going to summon a 3rd Wimp and attack over it, I guess? Okay, Piercing Samurai. Piercing Samurai's effect. No negate attack against this deck is huge, though. We can still OTK easy. I don't know about OTK. We can definitely get in for a lot of damage, but I think without both ripples, it's going to be very difficult to find an OTK line. Especially through 2,500 bodies. Okay, so we can get that out, we can do that, and we can also have that. This is actually, like, such a good hand. Alright, we'll summon. And we don't need anything else in the graveyard, right? We have, like, everything in there we could need. So I think the play is we just go Vic Viper beginning. Oh, we have to give up a monster, actually, to summon that. Oh, no, that's fine. We got the spare. So I'll send this from the field to the graveyard. Then I'll bring back just a Gradius's option. We'll go 1, 2... into this. We'll summon. Activate the skill. Reveal this. Reduce the attack of this. Get rid of this. Summon this in defense. Original attack. Okay. Don't think it matters where this is going then, realistically. Summon that option. Is there a reason to do it here? Does that change anything? This is 6,000, so unless they both go down to 0, it doesn't matter. So we're going to have to attack over all 3 anyway. Okay. I mean, not bad, but this is still very breakable. We can still just die here. We can still just die. What it's going to come down to is how many pulse he can make. If he just makes, like, 2 pulse, we're just dead. Like, there's nothing we can do about that. Fake Neos. There's Aqua. Here's the first pulse. So this on its own, not too bad. He gets rid of one of our guys, probably Ripple. Now, can he make another one? That is the issue. Summons the fake Neos. Yep, here's the second one. So that is... We're not dead yet. But he needs any normal summon. He needs 800 attack guy. And then we're dead. So has he got an 800 attack guy in his hand? Yep. Yeah, I mean... we played that, I think, as best as we could have. I don't think we could have done anything more there. I think it just came down to... he drew better than we did. / he won the coin flip, I guess, because he had the trap cards and he went first. Did you try the other build today as well? No, we haven't tried the other build. We've only been on this one today. I should probably do an exclamation mark icy as well. I don't know if we did that today or not. No, we've only been playing this build today. I mean, that was our first loss. So that's something, I suppose. That was what? That was 7 wins, 1 loss, I think, so far. So, you know. You did earlier. Well, you know, I have the memory of a goldfish, so we're going to give you the double. We'll give you the dub. You've earned it, I see. Yeah, I think it's one of those ones. I don't... Again, if someone pointed out a better play we could have made, maybe I would see it differently. But I didn't see a better play there. Ugh. Well, this is not great. I think I have to go for this. If I could get a normal monster, that would be great. No, no normal monster. Okay, we'll grab multiple here, I think. We'll then set, and then we'll pass. We got them. Those two we want to have in rotations. Having them in the graveyard's going to be fine. Joint at Dig's so powerful. I hope we're going to get the second and third soon. Again, I don't think it's going to be that great. I think it's a fine card. I don't think it's like an awful card. I don't think it's like crazy powerful. I don't think it's going to make Joint Tech like a crazy tier 0 deck or anything. I think it's just fine. I think it's okay. Barrage of Steel. Okay, I mean, that's fine. It's a little bit annoying. I would have liked to keep my extra back row cards, but it is what it is. This is pointless, right? You can pop a monster that's a fiend, or you can stop a back row from activating. So this is just a 2800 vanilla, effectively. We get to keep the option as well, which is kind of nice. Alright, step 1. I think we always power capsule red. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we do get a +2 off of that as well. That is so nice. Or a plus. I keep saying +2. I'm getting 2 cards off of it. It's a +1 rather than breaking even. What can we do with this? We can go 1, 2, 3. Summon that. Get rid of it. Go into that. Reduce this by. What's it going to be? 8, 8, 9? So that'd be 16, 25. Put it down to 300. And then I could get him down to 300 life points. The alternative is I just spam those out. Reduce it by just the 1. I'd have to send that back into the deck. Summon, and get that out. Is that better or worse? Because that'd be... I'd only reduce this by 8 plus 9, which is 17. Which puts this down to 11. But then I attack for 35, 6,000, and the 20. So that's just lethal, right? I think this is just lethal. I don't really know, but we're just going to YOLO. Don't forget the attack block. Yeah, we're just planning to not use this. But this is our send away. Alright, let's try this out. We'll flip this up. We'll summon out Gradius. We'll go 1, 2 into this. We'll summon out Space Fighter. Activate the power to Weave Hope. I can reveal this. I can reduce the attack of this. I can play a monster, which just puts this on the board. Then I can put this back in the deck. Summon this out in defense position. Activate its effect to boost the attack of you. Activate your effect to reduce the attack of you. We set, go to battle, and then we just kill. Okay. We did it! We did it! Tomato Dinosaur from Peaky Blinders! Hello, Murata. Welcome, welcome on in. Exclamation mark Murata in chat won't do anything, but we should all show our love to Murata. How you doing, Murata? Oh, we should have saved that replay. We'll do it after this. That's fine. Another weird game, though. So our opponent kind of spun down into nothing, but... I started typing it, you baited me. Listen, right? If you're going to be my best friend, you need to accept that there's going to be some baiting going on, okay? That's just how it goes. Well, we're against another Metarian by the look of it. Just back-to-back Metarian players. We found them all. Okay, we're setting. We're setting. We're setting. Oh, we're setting so hard. Okay, the old set 4. Freed doesn't really do anything here. I don't think there is a reason to do anything. So what it comes down to is, what are we keeping in our hand? I think we keep a monster in hand. I think we set both of these. And then I think we set 2 back row, because then if he has back row hate, he has to get lucky. We've at least forced a 50-50, right? Unless he has 2. There's the ad break. Okay, we got bowler. She bowling. We got Sir Painter. We got actor. We're going to use script. We're adding fusion. Okay. We're going to activate fusion. Ad break ended. Welcome back, everyone. We're going for Medusa. Do we take the 50-50, or do we flip this down now? I think this is very greedy, but I'm going to let this go. We're just going to win the 50-50. We forced this 50-50. We're going to see if we can win it. We lost the 50-50, guys. It's all over. If we had won the 50-50 there, we would have been in such a good position. Oh. He didn't have another monster? Okay. Actually, I think we're probably fine. Oh, never mind. Never mind. We got this. Ooh. Then we might just die. We're going to have our guy popped, which is going to suck. Then he's going to attack us for 56. I mean, we might still be okay. Is he going to pop the other back row, is the next question. Okay, he does go for the back row, which is safer, but it means we're going to take less damage. Wait, are we just dead? Oh, no, we're not dead, but we might be if... Oh, no, I think we are just dead. No. It depends if he has another normal summon. If the last card in hand... Oh, he's got 3 cards in hand. Yeah, we should just be dead. Because now he just goes... Activate Fusion. Go Formatarian. Hold. We might be okay. Okay, adds back Actor. Adds back Fusion. Summons out Actor. So now we have to go for the Formatarian this way round. But we're not dead at the moment. You still need... I don't think there's any way you can find lethal now, is there? We use his effect. We bring back Ashura Star. We pop a monster. Ashura Star has to come out defense, so we're not worried about it. And then we take 32. Straight to battle. Okay, we only take 32. That could have been a lot worse. There were a lot of lines there where we just died. So, all things considered, that's kind of fine. That is not fine. Those are some of the worst draws we possibly could have gotten. I think we are just dead now. We can put both those back. Summon. Go for that. And then that's kind of it. We can get rid of one. Do you reduce attack and defense? No, just attack. Which means I can't clear this. Unless I pop it with this, in which case I'd have to reduce both of these. This, though, wouldn't get low enough to kill. I can't use the skill either. So I think we're just dead. If we set a bunch of cards, that might be our best chance. No, but even then, he just changes this to attack, pops a monster, doesn't summon anything. Attack, attack, attack lethal. But if we make a play, we're dead anyway, because our draws were ass. Guys, I think we're cooked. I think it is Jova. Unfortunately. Because we can summon this, use the effect, get rid of one of these two, then the other one has to stay. We can't get rid of the other one. So it's game over. It is game over. It's a shame. It is a shame. I mean, we basically bricked, right? What can we do there? When you open 3 vanillas. If any of them were the Dimension Linker vanilla, that would have been fine. But opening 3 Gradius vanillas there literally meant we had nothing. We had no play whatsoever. Which is such a shame. But it is what it is. It is what it is. That's going to happen, unfortunately. Just goes to show, even when you have a really busted skill, sometimes you just brick. It's a shame we had to lose to Atari as well, because that deck is mega cheeks. Alright. Spellcasters. Let's see what bro's got for us. We're going second. We have Curse. Is our opponent finally going to play into Curse for once? This is something that keeps happening. Every time we go second and we open Curse, our opponent keeps 2 in hand. Oh my god, we could actually do it. We could actually do it. Dimension Linker here as well is interesting. I think we probably do this. And then see what he does. Oh, that's tricky. We do that, then we activate that afterwards. I think that's going to be the line. Alright, we'll summon out Vic Viper. Let's see if he does anything here. No delay. Activate Vic Viper. I'm going to send this. Get this out. We will activate this card effect. We'll gain this attack, sure. Now, do we go into that now? I guess he hasn't shown a delay yet. Alright, we will go for the curse now, I think. Well, now we need Power Capture Red to find us a monster. That's what we're really digging for. We just want a monster. Okay, we did get a monster. Right, we'll go for 1, 2. Into this. We'll normal summon this. Activate the skill. Reveal Dimension Linker. Reduce the attack of this. We'll slam this on the board. We'll pop this away. Summon this out in defense. Set this. Activate his effect. I guess... if I want any of these to die, it's probably Ripple Laser, because its defense is the worst. So if he has got, for example, a Widespread Ruin, I'd rather Ripple Laser took the brunt of it. Okay, so we did play around that correctly. Alright. Down to 1,000. I wouldn't have summoned Polglaze and kept it for Shady. Why would you do that against this deck, though? Because he's never going to OTK us, and just against this deck, you want to throw as many attack and defense points on the board as possible. Plus, if we had done that, now we had the power of hindsight, but we were playing around Widespread anyway. But now that we know he had Widespread, we would have lost another monster, so we would only have had 1 monster on the board. So we would have had a Shady activation, but now we even know it would have been popped by Magical Stream. I think, with the power of hindsight especially, I think this is better. You had game either way, this way, in case he does have a crazy turn, you still have a trap. If it gets popped, you have follow-up. You would have had 2 still. How would I have had... oh, you're saying that instead of summoning that, we leave the 1200 guy on the board. mean, I guess. I don't really think having the 1200 guy on the board is that fantastic, but... I can see merit in that line. I can see... I see where you're coming from. I don't know if it was just better than what we did, though. That's the thing. I suppose on the flip side, we would have had a Polglace in hand guaranteed now for the skill activation. We drew one anyway, I suppose. So now the question is going to be, what does Bro have in his back row? He's already seen that, so if it's Slime, there's nothing we can do about it. If he's just got Slime, he's just got Slime. Right, let's summon out British. Okay, no delay. Let's summon out multiple here. I'm going to activate multiple. I'm going to flip this up. Hello, cat. So what is the best way to play around as much as humanly possible? If he has Slime, it's create the best board that we can end up with. So we'll go... Lord British effect to get a plus. We'll bring this out. Then we'll go for this, using this and this. Following that, it's like, do we go for the triple attack play, or do we... I think we just go for putting the most amount of stats on the board as possible. I think that is the best line to take here. So we'll go for this. We'll activate the effect. We'll send this. We'll bring this back. I guess we'll activate the effect. Okay. I'm going to have to leave for today. When is the next Duel Links or Vrain stream? Well, we'll be doing the tournament stream on Saturday. That is the next scheduled stream for us. We're just going to be casting the Deckmaster Cup Round 2. Okay. I mean, I'm pretty sure we won that. We'll keep that. That's fine. That's a fine one. Tomato Saturday stream. Whoa. So Saturday is my day off, right? I always keep Saturday free so that I don't have to like worry about anything. But I don't generally like to stream on Saturdays because it is like my day off, right? It's when I want to relax. It's when if I'm gonna have a meet up with some friends, it'll be on a Saturday. If I'm gonna, you know, just have some me time, that's always gonna be a Saturday. But that does mean I have the whole day free. So I can just stream the tournament, right? Till 2 AM or longer again. Hope you are prepared this time. Yeah, I think we are going to go into this with a bit more consideration for our body. We are going to make sure that we're in a room that is appropriately temperatured. We are going to try our best to not have any issues this time. I think with this, again, it comes down to, are we playing around... I'm going to get greedy again. I'm going to get greedy. I'm going to set 4. My brain is telling me we should set just 3. Because if he curses us now, we're in a really awful spot, and we'd probably just lose on the spot. But I'm feeling greedy. We're feeling greedy. But yeah, I think last time the main thing was we just got dehydrated. I think that's what it came down to. Like, being dehydrated and then being tired didn't help on top. But I think primarily it was the dehydration. Because I got a really bad migraine. And it might have been the lights as well. What I might do is go suck cam on, cam off. I don't really know how we're going to balance that. Or I might, like, turn the lights down a bit. But I think just having the lights bearing down on my face for 6 hours was probably not the best. Rice Terrace to the graveyard. Hero Rush Rising, by the way, playing fake Neos. Clayman comes down. Sparkman comes down. So the only play we can make now is Thunder Giant. So I guess we're doing that. The Thunder Boy is back. Set a back row. Goes to battle phase. Well, because of this attack reduction, I'm going to get to keep one of my guys. Unfortunately, it's Gradius. I don't think Gradius is the best card to keep alive. But maybe. Depending on what we draw. As soon as you saw the Gradius, you should have known that you weren't. Or the option. You should have known that you won't be able to clear that, man. Alright, let's see what we get. Something good. Yeah. There's good there. There's definitely good there. What is the direction we want to take this hand, though? I think we just go for the normal summon first and see if there's a delay. No delay. Activate multiple. We'll contact fuse into Ripple. Out comes the boy. Now, I'll activate Power Capsule Red now that we have another normal in the deck and another multiple. Okay, we'll grab out the multiple. We need one more body if we want to do that. Or we just go for this play. Which is better. I mean, I guess the play that has double attack reduction is the better play overall. I kind of don't want to, though. No, it's probably still the better play. I could go summon, summon, use that, and then put it back. That's not a bad shout. Alright. We'll go Gradius. Multiple. Why are we having the same song again? Skip that. Somewhere else. Then we will go into Vic Viper. Activate the skill. Reveal Dimension Linker. Reduce the attack of you. Play a monster. Play Dimension Linker. Return to deck Dimension Linker. Summon out Polglace. Activate Polglace. Boost this up. Set. Activate. Activate. We'll do 1. We'll do 2. Okay. We good. We good. Heading out of a good day, Tomato in chat. Thanks for stopping by, United. Always a pleasure, my friend. I mean, we are kind of winding down now anyway, so... You know. I think we didn't save that replay either, actually. Alright, we'll save that. I think there's a replay before as well that we want to save. We'll save this one as well. At least we've been getting some okay replays today. There have been some bad replays as well. Let's not be delusional about it, but there have been some pretty good ones. And that's what really counts. This deck is pretty fun though. I've been enjoying it. The issue is, I think I am a really boring duelist. In that I think I don't talk very much about anything super meaningful when I'm dueling, because I have to focus, because I am a brittle old man that mind is slowly slipping away. So I apologize if I'm not being super entertaining while I'm playing, but, you know, I'm trying to win. I'm trying my best, guys. I'm doing it for you. Really loving the Linker decks. They're so fun. Yeah, I think it's really cool. I think it's been really fun to play and to kind of learn the little tiny intricacies between the different plays you can make. And it does feel nice as well to keep track of like attack locks and different activation requirements for different cards, because it makes you feel a little bit more clever when you pull it all off correctly. Right, I think we go Power Capsule Red. If we can find a British, there's British. That's a +2 as well. I mean, this is okay. It's nothing crazy. We will go... Man, I don't even have to use British effect, which is really nice. We'll summon out British, see if there's a delay. No delay. We'll summon out multiple. Activate the effect. We'll flip this up. Hello, Clayman. I could do that. There's no real reason to, so I think we're fine. I'd have to use the effect one way or another. There's no way to put it into the graveyard, so I'd have to just use the effect and then just summon that out as just a body. I mean, that's fine. Alright. So we'll go into this. Out comes Ripple Laser. I could also just keep that in hand. That's not bad. It's a little bit tricky. Because I could also just not summon at all, right? I could just reduce the attack. Which I don't even need to do. Right, let's go for this. We'll summon this. We'll summon this. We'll activate the effect. We're going to gain his attack. We're going to activate this. Reduce this down to 0. Then I think I'm just going to go to combat. Like, I don't hate this. Get in for the 25. We'll see if this is a... Okay, it is a little butt. And then we'll swing into this one. Because this way, we have the Dimension Linker for the skill for next turn. Gradius in hand is, like, fine. It's nothing crazy. Like, it's not awful. It's not the best thing in the world, but it's fine. Like, having it there is okay. This way, we're trying to, like, have a better next turn. And I don't think the difference between having a 12 and a 25 on the board is going to matter defensively. Either I think he's going to be able to kill us or he's not. And I don't think the 13 is going to matter, but maybe it will. We'll see. Okay. So here comes, I assume, regular Flame Wingman, but he's only got 2 cards left in hand. He still doesn't use the skill. So what's his best case scenario? He sends that for Hero Rush Rising, and the last card in his hand is Sparkman. Like, that's a little bit annoying, but, like, we'd still be fine. Adds Fusion. Okay. Miracle Fusion. What are we going to do? Make another Flame Wingman? Or are we just going to make Burst? Okay, we are going for Burst. So Burst is just an attack point boost. That's fine. We know what the back row is. We don't have to be scared of it. So we are in a pretty good position to just try and kill him next turn. Now, does he go for damage, or does he go for killing the more important card? He does go for the more important card, which suits me. Obviously, having the Gradius on the board isn't super helpful for us right now, but if we draw an option like that, it is immaculate. So this is just lethal, right? This is just Giga lethal. I'm pretty sure this is Omega Giga chocolatey, fudge-coated, super special, awesome lethal. We have to make sure we do this first. We go 1, we go 2, we summon this out. Activate the effect, reduce the attack of some monsters, we'll reduce this, we'll reduce this. Normal summon this out, we'll go ahead and activate the skill, we'll reveal that we have this, we'll reduce the attack of this. We'll play a monster onto the field, out comes Dimension Linker, then we can return a card to the deck, that's going to be the Gradius, then we're going to summon out the Polglace in defense position, activate Polglace effect, boost the attack of this up, go to battle, swing over, kaboosh, swing over, kaboosh, and get in for 25. Nice, nice. People keep surrendering to the Moth, I just want to test. Why do they keep surrendering to Moth? Like, are they surrendering, like immediately, or are they surrendering after you, like, have a really good board? Or is it like you're taking ages for your turn, so they don't like it, so they just surrender? Because any of these could be valid options. Alright. I'm probably going to make this my last duel for the day. Just because I need the bathroom. And it's so close to the end of the stream anyway that I'm like... This is Riage Strike, by the way. Isn't this the guy? I think this is the name of the guy who got top 4 in the Deckmaster Cup. I think that was this guy. I'm going to look it up quick. Rush, Deckmaster Cup. Riage Strike, and he was playing Bubble Actress. Yeah, this is either a really good impersonator, and by that we mean he changed his name, or this is the guy that got the top spot. I make a board and they can't shady it, so they scoot. Oh. He was there. He was there. We've got 2 of our normals in a hand where we've got Power Capsule Red, which is actually really annoying. Let's see if we can find something with this. One. Oh, we got a normal. We need another non-normal. Yeah. This is a really weird hand, because we have no way to change battle positions. We have no way to get piercing, which makes me think there's no reason to go aggressive. So I think we're just going to do this, which feels really weird. But, like, I've got 2 in hand, so he can't use Curse to flip my guys up. So the only way he can break this board is with Abyss Soldier. And we want him to have all his guys in attack mode anyway. Right, Hydration's a little bit annoying, but it is what it is. Goodbye, Overrush Storm. Moth cooking bugs. Oh yeah, you know he's cooking bugs. But he's playing OCG Vespera. He's playing on EDO. Adds Mythical Sandbox to hand. Send Mythical Sandbox to the graveyard. Set another card. We have no idea if his back row alive, because we haven't done anything to see if there's a reaction. That makes significantly more sense. Yeah, exactly. Also, every time I make a play, I just type Moth on the chat. Why? You're just being weird now, Manicist. Okay. Go straight to battle, and then he just clears all 3. Okay. I mean, there's nothing we could really do until he puts stuff in attack position anyway. The issue is the back row. If these are trap cards, which they probably are, we're just going to have to run into them. And then go from there. That doesn't change a lot about our play. Could bring that back. It doesn't really affect anything. It comes down to, like... Either we get 2 attacks, or we get 2 attacks with a bigger board. So, I guess I'm gonna do this. We'll go Gradius. There is a delay. That's already kind of scary. So that could be Trap Hole, that could be Shady, that could be Compulse. Activate multiple. We go 1, we go 2. We'll summon out Lvlcap. This is going to get a Shady. Okay. So now we'll go Super Dimensional Lord British. And he has another back row that's live. Okay, so we had both trap cards. Nothing we could really do about that. Now we're going to go Power Capsule Red. We have put 1 normal in the deck, so there is a chance for a +2 here. No, we didn't get it. It is what it is. We will grab probably the option here. We already have a multiple in the bin. Now the question is it even worth attacking over one of these guys? It's probably not, if we're being honest. I think we just do this. I don't... Like, what is the benefit of slapping over one of his guys? We get in for a tiny amount of damage. He's able to rebuild it almost instantly, almost guaranteed. And he gets more damage back on us than we do to him. I don't think there's a reason to take one of his monsters down. Okay. I mean, we'll put him back on the same spot where he needs... Yeah, so he's making room, probably to summon out Abyss Soldier, to bounce a card. What would you bounce here, though? He knows what all three of these cards are. Are we digging for it after? I guess we... Because we wanted the Dinkito draw effect. That's why. Triple Cornfall. So we've drawn 5 for turn. Then we drew from Dinkito. Then we drew 6. So we're up to 12 draws so far. There's the card he's been digging for. Tributes for Cleaning Prodigy. Why is the Kingdom Hearts music so quiet? I couldn't tell you. It's just a little bit quiet compared to some of the other songs. Ow! What did he change our battle position with? Oh, he used Curse. Okay. When in doubt, curse it out. Alright, can we draw a good hand? He hasn't got any trap cards, finally. This hand does nothing! I think we're just dead. Yeah, we ain't got anything. We just don't. We just don't. We can't even summon 2 monsters. The trap card's useless. We just don't have anything. I'll tell you, we'll play it out, because I think this is actually going to be an okay final replay. But there's no possible way to win here. It's a shame as well. I don't know. Did we make any major mistake? I think the only thing we did that was maybe a bit weird was not attacking over one of his bosses with Dimension Linker. But with the power of hindsight, I don't think it mattered. I think it came down to he had 2 trap cards, so we lost the game. I think that's what it fundamentally came down to. Which is a shame, but we can't do anything about that. Alright. And that, like we said, was going to be our last game. It doesn't look like anyone's really streaming at the moment, but that is going to be the end of today's stream. As we did say before, we do have a Hikari tournament on today. We will go ahead and check that in the chat again. And this again is an EDO OCG tournament, but we want to get as many people signed up as possible so that Hikari maybe decides to do more in the future, because we always want to support our fellow creators. We'll also do an exclamation mark Hikari, because that will be being streamed later on as well. And then I imagine after that we'll be going into a Quantum Rush, I assume. I don't know if Quantum's actually posted that or not, but that is today's itinerary. I will be back on Saturday to stream the Deck Master Cup for Rush, which should be a lot of fun. Beyond that, we'll be back on Sunday for Digimon. We'll be back on Wednesday for the Watch Along for Vrains. And on Tuesday is going to be our next Duel Links stream. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye! I misclicked the hide camera button, so we're just going to make this really awkward now.